My turn?
Do you want to do it?
Hello, everybody.
We ask this every week.
Every week. Every week.
I think we just need to assign somebody.
He just starts talking.
I think we just need to assign somebody.
I think
we spend like the first minute to 2 minutes of discussing what's going to happen for,
Every episode, it's always, all right, so this is what we're doing, guys, right? Okay, yeah, right. And then it's like, all right, well, welcome back.
Because we don't do this every week.
And then I should edit it out, but I don't because I'm like, fuck that. That's more work.
Yeah, and then our listeners like,
every fucking week with this shit.
Every week with this shit. We always got to skip like the first 10 to 15 minutes of their stupid podcast. I actually do that with a couple podcasts. I skip like the first 10 minutes of it. Like, okay, this is shit I don't care about. Let's get into it. So, I bet there's people out there that do that to us.
Probably. It doesn't hurt if you do.
Yeah, we don't care if you do or not, honestly. You're paying attention to us. That's all we care about. The
important part is that you're here.
We're like spoiled toddlers in a room full of other spoiled toddlers. We want you to look at us, not the other fuckhole toddlers.
Half our listeners have already skipped this.
Yeah.
Huh?
Have to skip.
They've already just skipped this part. Yeah, those people are the ones who don't have kids, and they're like, I hate kids. That's those.
This
people.
Analogy is pissing me off.
Yeah, they've already skipped us. So to those of you who have toddlers and love kids, thank you for sticking around.
Thanks for hanging in with us.
Us, as in the Bonsai Movie Crew, which you are here to listen to.
Nice segue.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Way to go with the transition.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're on YouTube or whatever. Don't forget to rate us on Spotify. We're on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, or not Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram, and we have a Discord now and stuff. I'm pretty sure it's all just the Bonsai Movie Crew. And is that all?
I think so.
All right.
Is there anything out there?
If we haven't said it, it'll be on the screen.
Yeah.
Just
it's
Google
all down
us.
there.
Just start saying Google.
I'm
gonna take away all that shit at the bottom that you guys just saw, and it's just gonna be Google.
No, find the Bonsai Movie Crew in like some sort of dark web.
Yeah,
fiasco.
some fuck yeah.
All right. You want to get into it with the creator profile?
Who wants to read it?
I can.
Who wants to guess who it is? We already did Bruce Campbell.
I
Yeah,
know,
I was about
that's
to
what I'm
say,
saying.
I'm
So
a
it's got to be
lost.
Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
I thought we already did Sam Raimi.
No.
I thought so too.
No, we haven't done Sam Raimi.
I'm gonna say that's.
I thought
it
we
would
did.
it would have to be him or Ted.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, it could either be him or Ted Raimi.
I can do it
You want to do it?
if you don't want her to do it.
Oh.
Because that's literally the only people that
You
are
just put him
volunteering.
in a hard spot right
Oh.
there.
It's not a hard spot. He doesn't want her to do it, or else he would have handed it over to her by now.
It's not long at all. It's really short. He apparently doesn't divulge a lot about his life.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. He just knows how to stay out of the tabloids, and he just makes movies. That's
It's the best way to be.
Mm-hmm.
Do your job and get out.
I see how it is.
What? I'm going to read the movie, and then you're going to read the reviews.
Sam Raimi, highly inventive U.S. film
I'm just gonna do
director,
the times.
producer, writer,
Eric's
actor.
like, I don't have to do shit.
Sam Raimi
I try.
first came to the attention of film fans with the savage yet darkly humorous low-budget horror film The Evil Dead. From his childhood, Raimi was a fan of the cinema, and before he was 10 years old, he was out making movies with an 8mm camera.
What was in the first paragraph? I missed it.
He was a devoted fan of the Three Stooges. So much of Raimi's film work in his teens with good friends Bruce Campbell and Rob Tapert was slapstick comedy based on what they had observed from Stooges movies.
I love seeing.
Wow.
I love seeing whenever you watch certain movies of his, the Three Stooges influence in his movies. You also saw it in Evil Dead 2.
Look, you don't say, because like Bruce Campbell, he is the best at that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, Ted Raimi does it in The Suit as mom or as whatever.
but like, you know, like with the hand,
yeah,
the plates. And
Yeah.
stuff. Like we watched a movie called Waxwork 2 this past week. I'll say it when we do that, but Bruce Campbell was in that, and I didn't know. I'd seen the first one, and I wasn't aware there was a second one. We decided to watch the second one. The second one was actually better. Bruce Campbell was in it. I didn't know that he was in it.
Well, that's why it was better.
Well, it wasn't just him. There was a lot of different cameos in it. But his one scene in it was nothing but Three Stooges, like, slapstick, just
really
him getting hurt. And it was nothing but hilarious. He is the best at that, man.
He's really great.
Among the three of them, they wrote, directed, produced, and edited a short horror movie titled Within the Woods, which was then shown to prospective investors to raise the money necessary to film The Evil Dead. It met with lukewarm interest in the U.S. with local distributors, so Raimi took the film to Europe, where it was much more warmly received. After it started gaining positive reviews and, more importantly, ticket sales upon its release in Europe, U.S. distributors showed renewed interest, and Evil Dead was eventually released stateside to strong box office returns. His next directorial effort was Crime Wave, a quirky, cartoon-like effort that failed to catch fire with audiences. However, he bounced back with Evil Dead 2, a racier and more humorous remake/sequel to the original Dead that did even better at the box office. Raimi was then given his biggest budget to date to shoot Darkman in 1990. A comic book style fantasy about a scarred Avenger. The film did moderate business, but Raimi's strong visual style was evident throughout the film via inventive and startling camera work that caught the attention of numerous critics. The third chapter in the Evil Dead story beckoned, and Raimi once again directed Buddy Campbell as the gritty hero Ash in the gothic horror Army of Darkness in 1992. Raimi surprised fans when he took a turn away from the fantasy genre and directed Gene Hackman and Sharon Stone in the sexy western The Quick and the Dead. He took the directorial reins on A Simple Plan, a crime thriller about stolen money starring Bill Paxton and Bridget Fonda. In early 1999, he directed the baseball film For the Love of the Game, and in 2000, he returned to the fantasy genre with a top-flight cast in The Gift. In 2002, Raimi was given
seen The Gift?
Is this the one with Keanu Reeves?
Mm-hmm.
It's very good.
It was all right.
I liked it.
It was a weird movie, kind of.
It
was even weirder to see Keanu Reeves in that kind of role, too.
That's why part of the reason I liked it.
Like the abusive husband kind of role.
That's part of the reason I liked it. Yeah, I really liked the fact that it kept you guessing. Like, and then at the end, everything made sense.
Any of you weirdos out there who like Katie Holmes full frontal? Yeah, I'm not a fan.
That was not the reason I liked it.
It's the reason that I thought it was weird.
Don't you like the Twixter or whatever you said earlier? Twix?
She doesn't do it for me though.
No.
Who? Oh, it'd be Tweakster legs. Yeah. Nah, she doesn't do it for me either. She looks weird. She looks like a sad puppy dog.
She kind of does now that you say that. She looks sad all the time. Doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, it's probably because she was married to Tom Cruise for so many years.
Might have been.
He's very demanding.
Wasn't he abusive or something?
No, he's not abusive. He's just very demanding and very.
And a lot of people say gay, so she probably wouldn't get it very often.
I know they got one kid together.
Yeah, that was probably a test tube baby. In 2002, Raimi was given a real opportunity to demonstrate his dynamic visual style with the big-budget film adaptation of the Stan Lee comic book superhero Spider-Man, and fans were not disappointed. The movie was strong in both script and effects, and was a runaway success at the box office. Of course, Raimi returned for the sequel, which surpassed the original in box office takings. That's it.
That's it.
That's all we know.
They don't even say where he's from. Well, really, when he was born or anything like that. They don't get too much into his childhood or anything. Which kind of sucks, because that's the kind of stuff
they didn't even talk about any of his acting or anything.
No.
It's giving too much away.
No. This is all I could find, too. I really couldn't find a lot on him. Anyway, let's move on here. Let's... who's favorite movies of Sam Raimi's?
Oh.
Army of Darkness.
Spider-Man 2.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. Spider-Man 2?
I love that movie.
Of all of them?
With
Doc Ock?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Doc Ock. Is that such a crime?
No, I mean, it's all right.
God.
Karen?
Come back to me. I'll have to think about that.
Come back to you. You're the last one.
I thought you had... Did you?
Yeah, but I mean, mine's simple.
What is it?
Evil Dead 2.
Why?
Because it's amazing.
Okay. Why?
I don't know. It's a toss-up because I love Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness.
I don't know. I feel like they're all really obvious really obvious, like... What all has he done?
The first Spider-Man, though, was pretty epic, though. It was really epic.
I'm not a fan of those.
Really? I love them. I think they're great. Mostly because of Sam Raimi's. Sam Raimi's directing style in those movies was fun. It made the he could have a good action scene and everything without getting all into the CGI and all that shit. Like they're fun movies because of the way he directs.
I don't know. It might be Darkman.
Darkman?
Might be. Just because it's something outside of the other stuff.
Right.
So there's a table there.
Drag Me to Hell's good too.
I didn't like that.
You didn't like it?
Mm-mm. I've talked about that before. I didn't like it. The rest of the movie doesn't fit the ending. It's too slapstick over here, and then the end is
very bleak.
Yeah.
Slapstick over there, then the end's way.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Darkman. Okay. Actually, yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's get a. Holy shit! Sorry.
Oh, shoot.
She's special.
She's your kid.
Did you know that she rides the short bus to school?
Does she?
Mm-hmm.
I thought she had a car. Is that the short bus?
It's the short bus.
He got me a short bus for my birthday.
She's so special she drives it herself.
Yeah, trust me. Everybody wears helmets.
And their seatbelt. Don't forget the seatbelt.
Yeah.
That would be actually kind of funny.
Most of them are chewed through, so.
Chewed through. Oh, yeah.
No, remember, we already chewed through them. We got the non-chewable ones this time. But next time we got to get the ones made out of taffy.
Chains.
Just like,
It'd be like,
get off the bus.
It'd be like the kids off a trick or treat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to drive this bus right off the edge, guys. I will.
Piss me off.
Don't test me.
All right, well, let's get into what everybody's been watching this week.
What the hell have you been watching?
Oh, man. Let's start with Eric. What'd you watch?
Didn't really watch much. Well, I mean, I did watch a lot, but it was all one thing. So I watched the Fallout series.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 hours worth. I binge watched it.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
I mean, that's quite a bit of time right there.
Right.
I watched a couple episodes of Family Guy, those Waxwork movies, 1 and 2. I had to go back and watch Back to the Future 1 because Jack wanted to watch it. He hadn't seen that one. Just to watch the second one with us, so you had to go back and watch the first one. Bedazzled, Fear Clinic, Wedlock, and the sequel to the buddy game Spring Awakening. That's it.
Okay. Matt, what'd you watch?
Not much actually. Mainly just Supernatural. I went from season 3 to season 4 in the span of like 3 days.
That's a lot of Supernatural too.
Yeah. I didn't really get to watch anything over the weekend besides that. And during the week.
She had prom this weekend.
And Tristan's birthday, and we went to Waffle House, and
I
had work both of those days. So I woke up at 7, took a shower, then I went over to see Tristan for his birthday. I was back home by 11ish, so I could go to work at 12. Then I got home from work at 6, went to go take pictures for prom at 7, and then we were there by 7:30, and then we went to prom by 8, and then we went to Waffle House at 10, and then I got home at 12, talked to Dad till 1, and then I went to bed. I was gone all day, but for 1 hour. And then Saturday, I thought I didn't have work, and I woke up at 12:30. Yeah, Sunday. I didn't think I had work because I usually am scheduling 1 day a weekend, and I did. And I had to be there at 12. I woke up at 12:30. And was gone until 8 again.
Oof.
Yeah.
Busy.
It's rough.
I hate my life.
Then she went to school yesterday, and then we got off of school and went to work again.
Yeah. I'm gonna get home till like.
And then went to school again today, came home, and now she's doing a podcast. But lucky for her, she don't have anything going on tomorrow.
My mom.
Oh yeah.
But I'll be home by like 6:30. But Thursday I don't have anything to do. I got jack squat. And I'm doing jack squat.
Jack must be a really lucky guy.
I don't know him. That's what I was going to ask.
It's a weird last name, though,
Yeah,
Squat.
it is a weird name.
So maybe you
Hilarious.
should come up with some stuff.
Sounds kind of like a bum, though. I think we should meet him.
Are you
Squat,
making fun
huh?
of his last name because he's a squatter?
Yeah?
Or sounds like a
Break my
squatter?
daughter's heart. I'm going to make you squat on this shotgun. All right. Anyway, I watched. I forgot to tell you guys last week, but I watched The Wrath of Becky, the sequel to Becky. Obviously, it was good. It wasn't. I still think I might like the first one more. I like the ending to the second one more, though.
I like the bad guy better than the second one.
Yeah, Sean William Scott's pretty awesome, so he did pretty great. Watched an episode of Invincible this week. I'm trying to get. I think I've only got one more episode before the end of the season. And then I finished Halo. Finally,
I haven't gotten through it. Like I start watching it and I'm like, we'll watch something else.
I was painting miniatures and I think I had 3 episodes left, so I just.
Does it start picking up, like, or is it just still like very stale?
It's.
That's the face of still.
I love the first season. I really got into the first season, but like this second season is just kind of just.
I think both of them are boring.
It's losing me.
I think both seasons are. There's not enough going on, but I will say that they've left the second season of this open for a really good third season. So I don't know if they've renewed it for a third season. I assume they will because of the ratings that it got, but we'll see because. I think that the show itself needs some. I don't know.
More
They
action.
they really kind of like retconned a lot of things from the first season in the second season. Like his entire team died. Well, either you watch it or you don't. I'm just saying. Spoiler alert.
Oh, man.
But they retconned a lot of shit in the second season.
Like I'm still on like where they're fighting on Reach.
Yeah. You got a long way to go.
Yeah.
But there's still pointless fucking characters in the show that I'm like, why is this person here? Like that girl, that blonde girl that was in the first season. I don't understand her. Why is she here? She's not in the series. She's not in the games or nothing. I don't know her name.
Just further the plot, probably.
Yeah, I'm just like, why? Why is she here? And she makes no fucking sense. The connection between her and Master Chief make no sense. The connection with Master Chief and the Halo ring and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Hey, Master Chief is just a soldier, man. He's just the best.
They should just stuck with a lot of the game.
Yeah, don't overcomplicate it with all these, like...
New characters.
Not even just new characters, but like these nuances. Like, oh my god, there's something... Master Chief is special because of this reason or that reason. No, he's just a soldier. And he's really fucking good at it. He's a super soldier. But he's like
very lucky.
But he's the best one. That's why he's
They always say it's because he's very lucky.
Yeah, he's got luck on his side.
Yeah.
And Cortana.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the same people that made the Resident Evil movies.
I don't know. People like it for whatever reason, but I think that the people that like it don't actually know the games. So I think that's the problem with that. And
people that like it just want to see more background of Master Chief, and he shouldn't have a background like that. Like,
I know he needs to spend more time with that fucking helmet on his head, because I'm tired of seeing his face. I just want to see him in the suit beating ass.
Right.
That's what I want to see. I want to see action, dude. That's what I think of whenever I think of Halo.
Like the very first episode in the season 1 where they start fighting right off the get go, that drew people in, and it should continue. With that kind of stuff.
And there's a couple scenes like that in the show. But like I think that if the next season, what they need to do, they need to spend the entire season on the Halo ring. The entire season is about Halo. The Halo ring. They got on the Halo ring at the end of this season, so I want to see them just stay there for the entire season. Because like with Reach should have lasted the rest of this season, and it didn't. It lasted one fucking episode. Reach should have taken the entire season up.
Yeah, because Reach was a
big fucking deal.
Yeah, it was a pinnacle game too. I mean, it was really good.
So,
but I mean, like
the fall of Reach is what started the entire war.
Yeah, I mean, what was the point of the the blind ex-Spartan dude and his partner. Like, what was the point of those two characters?
Nothing.
They could have been done.
All they were there to do was to show the one girl, I don't know if you're this far or not, that there's more to life than being a soldier.
Yeah, I seen that part.
And that's all that is. Like, she ends up becoming, like, she doesn't die. She never dies. She just stops. She doesn't want to be a soldier anymore.
Yeah, she moves on. But no, the point I'm at was like where that blind guy died.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Okay. So you're at the Fall of Reach.
Yeah, I'm at the Fall of Reach. Like, they're fighting at
the
Reach.
Next episode. I know where you're at. I don't know. I can't recommend the show. I'll keep watching it because I just hope to God, because I've always wanted a Halo.
Right.
I heard back in the day that like Steven Spielberg was talking about doing a Halo movie. I was like, that would be fucking amazing.
Right.
He's the perfect director for Halo. And it never came. I think it was just rumors, but I was just like, that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Like Steven Spielberg or like or even James Cameron, someone like that to do a Halo movie would be amazing. Because it would just be they're the right directors for something like that.
I think it just needs more action and less.
It does.
Less talking.
Less story. Like, they're introducing characters I don't give a shit about. Like, Halsey's in it. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm good because Halsey's a part of the story. But like, other than that, I could care less about some of these other characters. I don't give a fuck.
No fucks.
No fucks. And I too watched Fallout and I didn't finish. I got one episode left.
Okay.
So I've gotten all the way up to the final episode.
That's good, I think.
It's really good. Yeah, I enjoy it a lot, actually. It's pretty fucking entertaining.
I can't wait for the second season to come out.
Karen, if you like Walton Goggins, yeah, he's awesome in this show.
I love Walton.
He plays the ghoul.
Yeah.
He's the ghoul. He's like 200 and some years old. But he's awesome.
I seen an interview with him talking about his dad.
He's a dick, but he's like an awesome dick. I mean,
yeah. He's a bad guy you kind of root for a little bit.
Yeah.
You always do. Walton Goggins, when he plays like a bad guy,
but they also go into his backstory a lot too,
yeah.
Like, because they go into who he was before the fallout, before the bombs had dropped, and he was an actor and things like that, and he was also raised on a ranch, and this and that. So they go into his acting and like how he was with his wife and his daughter. And yeah, he was a soldier, and he was actually a really nice dude, and all these other things, and like, but then to see him as the ghoul, you're like, it's like completely different.
Yeah.
But I love Walton Goggins, dude. He's awesome. He did such
this
a good
interview
fucking
talking
actor.
about his dad, and it was really funny because he showed a picture. I can't remember who was interviewing him, but he showed a picture of his dad, and he said that his dad has like turquoise rings on every finger. And he's wearing like those turquoise necklaces and like his outfit's like all tassels and stuff. So I guess he said that he based his Baby Billy character on his dad.
Yeah.
And he looks a lot like what you would imagine.
Yeah.
And he said that he took his dad to like New York or something to visit. And he said that his dad had pictures of himself. Okay. He said he put this picture out there and he said this outfit probably like weighed 200 pounds that his dad was wearing. But he said that his dad took pictures of himself and he'd already signed them.
Yeah.
And he was handing them out to people. And he said his full name. And he said, that's my name. And then he's like, you keep that. And he's like, and then this is my son. And he said his, Walton's name, which is the same name because he's a junior. And he's like, and this is my son. And he handed him a picture of his son, and he signed his name. He signed that too. And he's like, you keep that too.
Keep that too.
And he was like handing them out to people. So yeah, he based Baby Billy off of his own father. So.
I love Walton Goggins. Walton Goggins is he's an unsung hero whenever it comes to actors.
I love that guy.
I first took notice of him and because he was in Predators. He played
Mine was Sons of Anarchy when I know
Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy.
I saw him in Predators, and I've seen him in other stuff before that, but whenever I really noticed him was in in Predators. He played the prison inmate, and he was the guy who walked up and he goes, talking about the tattoo on his chest about the big old titties, and he goes, "That's my sister."
Yeah.
He got a tattoo of his sister topless on his chest. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then after that, he was in Vice Principals, and he played a gay guy. He wasn't straight, and he did such a good fucking job. And this is a dude that I'm like, this guy is a character actor.
Well, he played like a transvestite.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was in
Sons of
Dallas
Anarchy.
Buyers Truck.
Yeah.
Or no, yeah, it was Sons of Anarchy. You're right.
Yeah,
he was. He was.
What the hell was her name too? It was like something weird, like Diamond or something.
Yeah, some weird shit. But
yeah, because she was with Trig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah, dude. Walton Goggins is a fucking champ. He's one of the best actors of our generation. Well, people just don't know it because they don't know enough of his stuff.
Last episode, you'll see why he's such a, I don't want to say prick. So,
I know. I'm waiting for it because I know the whole point is he's looking for that woman and all that. So
yeah,
because I'm sure she had something to do with his wife and all that. But
yeah, I'm not
all the all the story I assume hasn't come together for me. But the actress that's in that show, the lead girl, I don't know her name, her real name.
Starts with a Lee.
Something like that. Yeah, but she's also in. She voices Jinx in the Arcane series.
Yeah.
Oh, that one chick. She also plays in Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. She plays as Emma.
I don't know. Probably I've only seen that movie once.
I used to watch it all the time.
She's been in a couple of other things. She was also in. She's also in Yellow Jackets.
I think her name.
I gotta watch that still.
But she's a good little actress. My wife thinks that she looks weird. She looks like an alien apparently because of her eyes.
See,
she's got really big eyes.
I like all the actors in it. There might be one that I'm not really too fond of.
Not the right time.
Which one?
Maximus.
Maximus is that he's a very back and forth, hit and miss kind of character.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out.
Like in one instant, you're like, okay, this dude's kind of cool, and then the next, you're like, you're a bitch, dude.
Yeah.
So, that's how I felt about every character in The Sopranos.
Oh,
every
really?
single one of them.
Yeah.
Like every so often you'd be like, oh, poor Tony, and then like the next episode you're like, fuck Tony.
Fuck Tony.
And then when you're like, oh, Christopher, poor Chris, fuck Christopher. Every fucking one of them.
Maximus isn't like that. He's just kind of a pussy.
Yeah.
He's just a pussy. He's not like, oh, this guy will fuck you over. He's
can't see every single one. There were certain characters you always hated. Tony's mom was one of them.
And Maximus, it's the actor who plays him too. He's kind of, I would almost say bland, but he's not really. I think that's how he's supposed to be acted, to be honest. Ella Purnell, that's her name. Yeah. But like Maximus he's cool in certain instances, but then there's other times where you're like, God damn it, why are you being such a bitch right now?
Right.
So like the part whenever they're in the vault. And he's like just chilling out
eating popcorn
unit, like eating popcorn, just like having a good old time.
Watching her getting dragged away is like
he's looking at the popcorn like, do I really want to give this up?
Yeah.
So it's good. It's a good show though. I would recommend it. It's weird because
that was a weird vault.
It was, and I said that too though. I said it's weird because they've had both things that she's been involved with video game adaptations. Have both been really successful.
Maybe we want to play Fallout New Vegas.
It's funny because they released the show and all of the Fallout series went on sale on Steam. Yeah. And then it's in the top seller thing right now. I was like, ooh, smart move. Very smart. Good on you, Bethesda. Anyway, that's all I watched.
Strike while it's hot.
New Vegas was a pretty good one.
Both of them, both Fallout 76 and Fallout New Vegas are both on sale. And they're both in the top seller thing right now.
Yeah, aren't they competing like games or something?
No, they're the same. They're just one's a sequel to
New Vegas came out, I think, on 360, didn't it?
I don't remember. I don't know. I didn't care about the Fallout games. I never played them. So it's just
I enjoy them.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people love them. It was just there was not one game that I ever really played, but like that's why I think I can get into the show because I'm like I don't care about the source material. It's one of those things.
You check out Fallout 4. It's actually really good.
I'm sure, yeah. My buddy, Matt, he's obsessed with the Fallout games.
Oh, yeah.
He loves the Fallout games. But anyway.
They're a good time.
That's it. That's all I watched. Let's get into our movies, or movie this week. Not movies.
I only watched one.
Yeah, I only watched one, too.
Don't trick me.
Watch two of them?
Let's talk about the movie.
Nope.
Shoot.
Anyway, this week we watched Evil Dead 2, starring Bruce Campbell.
Isn't it technically called Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn?
No, it's just called Evil Dead 2.
Is there one called Dead by Dawn?
No, Evil Dead 2, sometimes they'll add a tagline to a movie, like Dead by Dawn, or, something like that. Like, okay, this one doesn't have one. Sometimes they have, like, taglines and shit.
We don't have any very good...
Yeah, I really don't. I don't have any good examples.
You don't have any examples, period.
Nope.
I do not. Sorry. I probably do somewhere back there. Anyway.
By the Smurf jizz.
Yeah, Smurf jizz. Around all the Smurf jizz back there. Anyway, Karen, you got a plot synopsis for us?
Yes. Evil Dead 2. Ash Williams and his girlfriend Linda find a log cabin in the woods with a voice recording from an archaeologist who had recorded himself reciting ancient chants from the Book of the Dead. As they play the recording, an evil power is unleashed, taking over Linda's body. 1 hour and 24 minutes, rated R. Director Sam Raimi. Bruce Campbell as Ash. Sarah Berry as Annie Noby. Dan Hicks as Jake. Cassie DePaiva as Bobby Joe. That's as far as I'm going to go.
A bunch of people you've never heard of.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Bruce Campbell.
there's Ted as the possessed Henrietta.
Yeah, Ted Raimi. You all know him as Joxer from Xena and Hercules.
Yeah, and he was in an episode of Supernatural.
He was in a lot. He's been in
a
lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of shit. He's that guy. Whenever you see him, you're like, "Holy shit, it's
That
Ted
guy.
Raimi."
Ted motherfucking Raimi.
Most people don't know his name, but like, hey, it's that guy. He's in all
I've
kinds of
seen
stuff.
that guy in some before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen him in everything before.
Anyway, let's go around the table. Would you watch? Would you recommend? Eric?
Yeah, I would recommend it, and I would watch again. Just probably not something I'd watch like immediately. I mean, definitely recommend if you are wanting to watch something goofy and comical.
Yeah, horror comedy, I guess.
Yeah.
Classic horror comedy.
If you like the Army of, Evil Dead franchise, you got to watch Evil Dead 2 at least.
Of course, yeah. Oh, you really don't even have to watch the first one.
Yeah,
to
I
be
mean,
into the
go from
franchise.
Evil Dead 2 to...
You can watch it, but like, you can start off at Evil Dead 2 because
Yeah, it's basically the same movie.
one has
just
nothing
one.
to do with the other ones. So
It's like that.
you could start on 2.
From Time, but they still called it 2 for whatever reason.
Because actually it's supposed to be a sequel.
Technically, yeah.
Well, they should have said Evil Dead Rebooted. Because that's what they did.
Who the fuck would call their movie Evil or whatever title rebooted?
I actually found out some stuff that I didn't know that actually makes sense as to why it's a sequel and not a remake. But we'll get there, I guess.
Okay.
Yes and yes.
That's it.
And
Yes and yes.
I have more to
I don't
say.
have to explain anything.
You're right. Okay.
I like it.
She don't have to
Wow.
explain herself.
I like it, and I would tell
Wow.
other people they should watch it.
Entitled much?
I'm just saying.
You're
You're the one always telling us we need to hurry up.
Yeah.
Yes and yes.
Madison,
Crack the whip.
hurry up.
CNC.
CNC.
What are you going to be routing?
Yeah, what are you routing?
C, as in yes in Spanish.
And
And...
C.
And then.
And then.
And then.
No,
and then.
C as in yes, yes and yes.
C
C.
and C.
All right, anyway, and of course, a
Pretty
yes
simple,
and a
right?
yes for me. This isn't even a movie. I don't care if you like horror or comedies or movies like this. I'm going to recommend you watch it anyway.
That's basically what I was getting at.
Yeah, because I love this movie, and I've loved it since the first time I watched it, probably 150 years ago. So it's a fucking great movie, and I love it. So I'm always going to recommend this to everybody. And I will watch it again. I don't know how soon. I'll bet I'll watch it again within the next year. At least.
It's one of those you can watch it and like you're not gonna always remember all the little slapstick or bullshit that's happening.
Yeah.
So it's not something that
It's a great movie.
Claymation
It's fun.
ballerina.
Yeah.
Little fucking Barbie doll.
Anyway, let's get on into our movie here and start reading off this plot, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, I'm gonna read it this week, I guess.
Don't say I guess like you didn't have a choice.
I didn't have a choice. Madison didn't even offer.
Dude. I'm
You can hit him.
I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna duct tape. I'm gonna duct tape him down to his bed. Crystal's gonna be in on him, by the way. I'm gonna duct tape him down to his bed, and then we're shoving a pillow over his face, and then we're having the dogs laying there for a while until they shart themselves, so he can just stay in there with them. And then
Anyway,
we'll get the dogs out, and then whenever his body starts to smell, we'll just have the dogs eat it.
Jesus.
That
Shit
got real dark.
real deep, real fast. All right, Evil Dead 2. This movie begins with a slightly offbeat recap of the first movie, in which they don't have the 3 other characters that existed in the first movie. Another thing is that the character Linda changes to another woman in this movie. As part of the recap, they show the romantic sentiments that exist between Ash and Linda by showing off the necklace that he gives her in the first movie. The movie progresses to show Ash finding the tape recorder containing Professor Raymond Noby's findings of the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, aka the Book of the Dead. Ash plays the tape and quickly realizes that he made a grave error, since the tape plays reading from the book that awakened the evil force in the woods. The sound of glass breaking and Linda's screaming from the next room are dead giveaways to Ash's mistake. He arrives at Linda's aid but finds her missing. Distraught, Ash begins to search for Linda by going outside, but getting more than he expected, Linda pops out of the shadows, but she is not herself. She is possessed. Ash, startled by Linda, falls to the ground next to a shovel, which he uses to decapitate Linda as she lunges at him. Conveniently enough, that's a really nice looking shovel. The shovel looked like brand new.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure they bought that specifically for this movie. Like, we don't have a square shovel. Let me go get one.
I got you. Hold on.
Got you.
I'll go to Home Depot real fast.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is there Lowe's somewhere around here?
And nobody thought like, hey, maybe we should put it in the ground overnight or something. Just give it a little bit of a warm look.
Or like spray paint it somehow, or
I mean, just
anything.
dig a hole
Just
real
dig
quick.
a hole with it instead of making it look brand new.
Maybe it was brand new in the movie.
Yeah, and to decapitate somebody's head that easily with a square shovel, you'd have been better off giving him a spade.
That's why they call it a comedy, Dad.
I don't know if she was running really, really fast.
I guess.
Yeah.
So just like
35 miles an hour, maybe.
Yeah, right.
I can
So
do
just
that.
like in the first
Like
movie,
She
an
was
Ash-
possessed.
Yeah, she was
I'm
possessed. It weakens the skin. You know.
Oh, that might be it.
Yeah.
Yep. There's some science there.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought if you were
Running like an
possessed, your
ostrich.
skin gets tougher.
I don't know. So just like in the first movie, Ash buries Linda and marks her grave, but the evil force has plans for Ash. The force comes after Ash through the cabin, busting through the doors, picking him up and throwing him through the trees, slamming him against a big one,
Oh, God.
and dropping him
He got
in a
little bit
puddle.
more wood than he was expecting.
Yeah. It's funny because he flew for like ever.
Yeah.
And then when he wakes up and shit, he's like right next to the cabin again. In the same puddle, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he didn't go very far, I guess.
They did a circle.
Maybe that's part of the possession. You feel like it's really, really far.
Right.
So we were just experiencing
It's
it with
funny
him.
how he was flying through the woods. He's like doing spins. And everything
Yeah.
else, and I'm like, but whenever whenever his face is down in that puddle and he's like breathing, it's like, so hold on, he's taking breaths under there.
Yeah.
This is like he's blowing out bubbles and then more bubbles.
Well,
and
he's
more
possessed, though. He doesn't necessarily need the air, so...
Well, I'm just saying, like he's it's
Air's
like he's
coming
breathing.
through his butt, out his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you breathe differently when you're possessed. So since we're here, it's just a little easier to say, but like that's why it's a sequel and not a prequel. So there was the recap. They couldn't get the rights all the way back for the movie because they had sold them for the first one, but he didn't give away the rights for the characters. So he couldn't use footage from the previous movie to retell anything. So he did a short recap, and then when the sequel takes over is from that point on, because at the end of the first one, if you remember, was the crawl coming at Ash, and then that was the end. So that's where we're coming in now, is that crawl coming in, and it hit Ash, And that's where the sequel's coming in.
So instead, they just took away the two
friends and so it was just him and Linda
happened.
going up there, and that was the recap part.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, that kind of makes sense, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They should.
So then we're finding out what happened to Ash after the crawl hit him.
See, that doesn't make any sense either, because then so they kind of they take away some of the things that happened in the first one, like they didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he totally got rid of the friends and he changed a few things up, and I kind of liked the friend angle instead of it being just him and Linda.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, they decided to trim that down and get rid of it altogether. Probably because it's a lot easier to get rid of one person rather than
people to say, "Well, why is this a sequel?"
Yeah, it's probably a lot easier to just show it with him and Linda to get rid of one person rather than show what happened to all of the friends.
Right.
So maybe that was for simplicity's sake.
Maybe.
But that's why it's a sequel, not a prequel.
This is where the new material begins with Ash.
There you go.
With Ash coming up out of the puddle, possessed by the evil and screaming. But soon, the evil realizes the sun is coming up and begins to go away. Shortly after the possession subsides from Ash, he screams in terror and passes out. Ash awakens and looks around, seeing a pair of eyes overlaying the cabin and disembodied voice saying, "Join us." Suddenly, Ash decides to get out of there as he rushes to his car and speeds off down the path out from the cabin. Ash quickly discovers that he is trapped by finding the destroyed bridge down the road, and he also discovers that he is not alone and has slept most of the day.
I got a question. Have any of you guys seen that meme where there's a person walking down the beach and it's late at night and all of a sudden all you hear is, "Join us." And he looks to the side and there's a head in the sand. And then he hears another person say it, and then he sees them too. And then more of them start saying it. And there's 7 or 8 of them just buried in the sand, and they're all saying, "Join us."
No.
I've never
It's
seen
hilarious.
this.
Never heard of this.
It's hilarious.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Join us!
The sun begins going down, and the evil force begins to chase after Ash as he runs to his car and speeds back towards the cabin, crashes his car, flies through the windshield, and continues to run.
That's probably my favorite scene, is when it's chasing him and then it loses him. He hides in it and then it can't find him. Like you're playing hide and seek with a supernatural force and it loses you.
Yeah. How does that work? Because the whole point, I know
You can't see me!
Yeah, the whole point of the supernatural force, so I know that in the first one they didn't have the budget and didn't know exactly what it should look like, and that's why they just used the camera to chase them through. And that's kind of what has
But it
always
created
stuck
such
with
an
it.
iconic thing.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
really cool.
It really created something iconic. Where was it?
I think it's better that way.
Yeah, it kind of is. It definitely gives it its own flavor, you know what I mean? After a while of solitude... Oh, hold on. Oh, sorry. Fuck, where'd I... Okay, the sun begins going down, blah, blah, blah.
The crawl was chasing
Okay,
him.
the force chases Ash through the cabin until he evades it and leaves the cabin. And it leaves the cabin and Ash comes out. After a while of solitude, Ash is startled by boards falling off a nearby window, and upon investigation, he sees his dead girlfriend Linda's headless body dancing, and after the dance, she attacks Ash through the window. Not just attacks, it's almost Three Stooges-esque too, bouncing his head off the...
When she comes up out of that grave and starts dancing, though, all I could think of was nobody took very good care of that Barbie.
Yeah.
Somebody was really mean to that Barbie.
She decomposed really fucking quick.
That's weird, Barbie.
Shit was all...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was really, really weird, Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little demented. Ash wakes up to discover the attack was just a dream and relaxes. Ash's revelation is short-lived as Linda's head falls in his lap and attacks him by biting his hand. Ash takes the head to the work shed where he gets the head off, but is attacked by Linda's body wielding a running
She's
chainsaw.
the most incompetent Deadite ever.
She's like flailing around with it. Like
he comes in with that chainsaw. The head's right there and she can see him, but yet she's all...
Yeah.
I'm Leatherface.
I'm Leatherface.
You have to understand how going from Evil Dead 1 to Evil Dead 2, and then especially into Army of Darkness, how fucking great this whole series is. Because, like, the first one is trying to be serious.
Mm-hmm.
But then they get into the second one and the third one, and it's just so slapsticky and fun. Let's get the hell out of here! Like, it's just, it's fucking hilarious, dude. It cracks me up.
Klaatu, Narata.
I said it!
I said it.
You're
I
good,
maybe I
Ash.
didn't say every single syllable, but basically I said it.
You're good, Ash. I'm bad, Ash. Good little tissues. Good little tissues. Good little tissues.
You'll get there.
I was gonna say.
You'll probably, most people like Army of Darkness more.
There's so much more slap.
There's a lot more to it. Like, there's a lot more.
There's actual plot to it. Like, there's an actual, like, this one's just kind of like, oh, cabin in the woods trying to escape.
Yeah.
In Army of Darkness, there's actually, like, something you can follow and you get into.
There's more story.
Yeah.
There's, like, Deadite skeletons. There's evil Ash. There's a lot going on in the third
Little
one.
tiny ashes.
Yeah, a bunch of little ashes. And because the whole point is, like, he has to retrieve. And so he goes back in time. It starts off where the second one ended, and he's back in time.
Except they kind of retcon it a little
They
bit.
do a little bit,
He's
yeah.
not their hero at the
I'm
beginning.
not gonna be able to watch it.
Well, I'm just saying, like, but like the third one has more.
There's more meat and
story.
potatoes to it.
Yeah, there's more. More story. There's definitely a lot more comedy and slapstick to it. So, and it reminds me more. Like, it's funny because, like, the third one, you can tell it was a lot of how Sam Raimi was developing, like, Hercules and Xena.
Oh,
and all
yeah,
that.
yeah,
You can see that in
100%.
it.
100%.
Yeah, him
thing
and
that made me
Robert
crack-
Tappert both produced them.
The thing that made me crack up the most was the long face. It made me think of oh shit, what the hell is that? Drop Dead Fred. Well, he's got the squish face.
Yeah. Shit's pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Ash wakes up to discover his attack was relaxed, blah, blah, blah. Okay, short-lived. Ash takes the head to the work shed where he gets the head off, but is attacked by Linda's body wielding a running chainsaw. After defeating Linda again,
I like how
Ash,
she was trying to control the body with her eyes. Like,
Ash returns to the cabin where he finds a shotgun or boomstick for the fans. But while loading it, he sees a rocking chair in the next room moving, and he confronts it to find that there is something invisible in the chair. Ash panics and tries to calm himself in a mirror, but is attacked by his reflection.
Dude, that's like a legit creepy scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the midst of all this, like, comedy, that mirror scene is legit. Like, you're like, ugh. No, thank you. That's creepy.
And I wouldn't say that he attacked him. He just, like, he came
No,
out
he
of
just
the
kind of came out
mirror.
and
Out of
was
the mirror
like,
said, "Do you really think everything's okay?"
yeah, he's like, you really think everything's all right?
that
Yeah.
really starts making you think of your own, sanity. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're going through all this stuff, and then you're looking yourself in the mirror, and your mirror self is talking to you. Like, you really think something is okay?
Yeah.
Probably not.
I think that's part of the reason it's so creepy, because it's like, is he really seeing all this stuff, or is he really just going crazy? You know what I mean?
Right.
His mind's lost.
After the attack, Ash's hand becomes possessed and attacks him in a slapstick way, much like the Three Stooges. Ash's hand knocks him out and tries to get a meat cleaver to kill him with, but Ash stops it and cuts his hand off with the nearby chainsaw.
I think the best part about that is, like, how his hand is making noises.
Yeah, I know, right? I said the same thing.
Yeah, like,
how does
yeah.
the hand make noises?
Yeah, it's always making these little weird noises, but you know it's for comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely for comedy.
It was really funny when he's in the wall.
Yeah.
You know?
What was cracking me up was, like, when it's going to just get the meat cleaver, it's like,
Yeah. He's dragging his whole body. Yeah, it's fucking great. But that's good. That's good physical humor on
For
Bruce
sure.
Campbell's part.
Yeah.
100%.
Like he did that scene so well. It's so fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
So him smacking himself in the face with like
The plates.
plates and bowls, and I know they're.
Do you think they just stuck him in that room and smashed things on your head?
Oh, for sure. Like I guarantee you that all that was improv. Like Sam Raimi was like, "I need you to go in this room and beat the shit out of yourself with all these plates and bowls."
I like
your
how the
one
hand
hand.
like stops after so many plates. He just like so got like the last plate. He's like sets it down, and then he's like, "Wait a second." Now he sees the meat cleaver, and then he goes for it.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what happened. It wasn't
seriously?
necessarily like go in there and beat the shit out of yourself. He said, "What do you think would happen if your hand was possessed?" And go.
And
obviously they're all breakaway glasses and bowls and
Right.
things like that.
what if one of his very close friends
Played a prank on him and put an actual
Put a
plate
real
or bowl
plate
in
in
there.
there.
Oh my god,
Fuck! Why won't this
Dude.
break?
that's pretty funny.
Stop hitting me!
Well, him and Sam Raimi are really close friends anyway, and
Well, they did that kind of shit to each other all
yeah, I
the
was
time.
gonna say, so it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities
Yeah.
if that's what they did.
Maybe it was that last plate, and then Raimi's like, "Fuck."
I remember that
All
story.
right, he actually knocked himself out, guys.
Remember that story that he was telling everybody that
About
Sam
the
actually
car?
hit him with the motorcycle
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and broke his legs or some
Yeah.
shit during the filming of the first one. You had everybody believing that Sam actually hit him with a.
right. Well, that's no different than whenever Bruce Campbell had the car fully dismantled
Oh yeah.
and tore apart. Sam Raimi lost his shit. He fucking flipped
Yeah, he
it, dude.
did.
The car.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
he had it
Delta?
completely dismantled.
Yeah. Yeah, it was for his birthday or some shit.
Yeah,
He
some
came
shit like
home
that as a
and-
prank.
Yeah.
And he was like, Sam Raimi was livid. He was pissed.
No, I bet.
Yeah. Came home and it was in pieces in the garage.
Yeah. Okay, so this is where Annie Noby and College Ed is what they call him. College Ed.
It's like coming home to find your baby dismantled all over the
Yeah,
living
come
room.
into full swing in the picture. They are stopped on their way to the cabin by Jake and his wife Bobby Joe, who are out marking the destroyed bridge. Jake and Bobby Joe agreed to take Ed and Annie to the cabin on foot. So, who else here thinks that Bobby Joe is way too attractive for what's his face?
She basically
Bobby.
was supposed to be, I guess.
Or for Jake or whatever. What?
She was basically supposed
It's like
to be, I guess.
they did her makeup poorly.
Is that what they said?
But
Yeah, she was based on somebody.
Oh, based on somebody?
Mm-hmm.
Is it in your
Yeah.
trivia?
I can't remember the full story, but it was Holly Hunter is who she was based on.
Who's that?
Raising Arizona. The wife. That's the most well-known one I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay. All right.
Did you notice though? Like, this was the first time I noticed it when he captures his hand under the pail and he stacks those books.
You didn't see the book?
Yeah, I
You
never
never noticed
noticed.
the
I
book?
never noticed that before, dude. I laughed so hard when I noticed it.
I've
this
noticed
time.
it ever since the first time I
I've
watched
never
it.
noticed
That's
it
fucking
before.
hilarious.
What's that?
The book that he stacks on the very top says "A Farewell to Arms."
That's what it,
Oh.
the name of the book is A Farewell to Arms.
I did not pay attention to that.
Never noticed it before.
Jake and Bobby Joe agreed to take Ed and Annie to the cabin on foot. Clipping back, Ash undergoes another attack by his hand that leaves him worse for the wear as he fires the shotgun at his hand and misses, but holes shoot in the walls, begin gushing blood almost like a fire
Freddy
hose,
Krueger.
covering him in blood. She was in Raising Arizona?
Yeah, she played Nicolas Cage's wife.
Okay.
she was in Batman versus Superman too.
She was?
I didn't watch it.
Okay. Shortly after hitting the ground, the props in the room begin laughing at him, such as a deer head on the wall, the clock, books, cabinets, lamps, and the trash can. Ash, in a short moment of insanity, laughs, but soon realizes that he's losing it and screams. But everything goes quiet when he hears a knock at the door. Ash believes this is another attack and fires the gun at the door. Suddenly, Jake busts
After a
in,
scream.
knocking Ash to the ground, and with Ed's help, knocks Ash out. Annie and Bobby Joe come in to discover the bloody chainsaw and assume that Ash killed. Motherfucker, go away. Down. Where was I now?
Bloody chainsaw.
Yeah, assumes Ash killed her parents, Raymond and Henrietta Noby. So they throw Ash into the cellar, which is exactly where I would throw him too.
Isn't that where he hid from the crawl?
Yeah.
So, where was Henrietta then?
I thought the same thing.
And they had to take the chain off.
Yeah. Right? Or did he hide in the wall?
No, he hid behind the door.
I think he
Remember
hid
there
in
was
the
a
wall.
door that was...
No, I think she's right. I think he did hide
Because
in
the
the
crawl
cellar.
looked behind the door.
Yeah. I think he did hide in
the curtain. Because it was like panned the...
No, he was in the cellar. I remember. Because I remember
him
pushing
he was like
pushing up on it and looking. Yeah, he hid in the crawl space.
So,
She was still in the dirt.
Maybe she hadn't
But
come...
the chain, though. They had to take the chain off and they had to unlock it.
It's one of them
She had the
things
key.
where this movie has so many...
I know. I'm not dinging
Yeah.
it. I wanted to make sure I had witnessed what I thought I had witnessed.
This is by no means a perfect movie.
No.
To all of you
No,
out there,
I
like,
don't
this
think
is
it's
not-
meant to be. I don't think that it has to be.
No,
I don't think
yeah.
nothing like that.
Yeah, like this movie is nowhere near perfect.
It's one of those things where it's like one of those movies where somehow it ends up being a really good, funny movie.
If you don't take
despite
it seriously,
the flaws.
if you don't take it seriously, you'll enjoy it. Let's put it that way.
But yeah, but I'm saying like there's other movies that have similar flaws and similar I don't know, sort of nuances, but they don't do as well and they're not as well loved or like, people
Right.
can literally go that's a terrible movie and you would agree. But somehow movies like this can gain a cult following and somehow movies like this people will go, yeah, that's a great movie.
It's because
But
of that slapstick sort of. I think it's because of that slapstick Three Stooges-esque. It's not meant to be taken seriously. It's not meant to be really. I mean, it's a horror movie, but it's a horror comedy movie.
Yeah, but I'm saying that there's movies that have the exact same formula and for some reason they don't.
It's no different than Scary Movie. Take it in Scary Movie sense. There's so many plot holes and things, but you accept those because of the movie you're getting.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Right.
What I'm saying is that there's movies that follow the exact same formula, and they don't do well or they suck, and we all universally agree with that.
I think a lot of that is forgiven, mostly and also partially on the performance by.
Oh, I don't
him,
disagree.
you know what I mean?
I don't disagree. I'm
So
just
I think
saying
that's
that
where a lot of that.
it's-
I think that's where people forgive.
I find it strange. Is
Right?
all I'm saying.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But this movie was there's so many things to love about it that you're able to forget about the things.
Yeah,
that
I can
you could
let
hate.
it all go,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying one way or the other. I just find it strange.
Annie, unable to find her parents, plays her father Raymond's tapes, finding out that her mother Henrietta had become possessed and her father had to kill her but could not destroy her
Body.
but buried her in the cellar. Shortly after finding this out, voices come
Did they
from
ever
the
explain
basement.
what happened to her dad? I just happened to think of that. Did
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
they? Okay.
I know he comes back through that spirit. That spirit tells him how to.
Yeah. Yeah, because he comes back and he
tells
talks
him
to
to use the
and he
pages.
looks an awful lot like Pazuzu from The Exorcist. I thought,
I thought the same thing, and I'm like, wow, they couldn't have thought of something
I
different.
think I even wrote something down about, I don't know, I'm not going to try to find it, but I think I wrote something down about, well, they must not have succeeded because he went on to be Pazuzu from The Exorcist.
Right. So he went on to do the Exorcist
Yeah.
movie or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's see here, hold on.
Didn't he do the Exorcist movies too? Or was that someone
No,
else?
No,
no,
someone
Sam
else.
Raimi didn't do those.
Let's see here. Ash makes it out of the cellar, but Ed suffers from his attack as he is knocked out. Or sorry, I think I skipped some. Or shortly after After finding this
You got
out,
this.
voices come from the basement. and an attack by Henrietta begins. Ash makes it out of the cellar, but Ed suffers from the attack as he is knocked out. Shortly after, Ash explains what's going on to Ed, Annie, Jake, and Bobby Joe, but he is interrupted by Henrietta trying to get Annie's attention and tries to get Annie to let her out, but she refuses, and then Ed becomes possessed and attacks the group. Penis Ash. Why does it say Penis Ash? Lays waste.
Penis Ash.
Did they download the wrong movie?
That's what it says. It says Penis Ash. Penis Ash lays waste to Ed.
Maybe they were doing voice to type and they just so happened to say penis.
Maybe, but time stops and strange noises flood the cabin. Penis.
So Penis Ash attacks Ed and floods the cabin. That just sounds bad in all manners.
I'm just gonna say.
I mean, he did
Ash,
say a big one earlier.
I don't know why penis is in here. I think somebody typed that in there to say.
Just to make you say
it's gonna be a random penis in here.
Yeah, just to make you say
it.
And I'm gonna say it because
It's kind of like Super Troopers.
Penis.
How many times can we get this guy to say penis?
Yeah.
Instead of meow.
He said penis.
Ash lays waste to Ed, but time stops and strange noises flood the cabin. Annie and Ash begin to investigate to find a ghostly head that begins to come through into their world. The head is Professor Nobi, and he warns them and tells them of a way to defeat the evil that swarms the woods outside and fades back into the darkness. Then Ash hand strikes once again by scaring Bobby Joe out of the cabin. Jake, distraught by this action, peers out for her, but she is nowhere in sight. Annie knows the pages to Ash, shows the pages to Ash that will defeat the evil, but one catches his eye. An illustration of a hero from the sky said to have defeated the evil in the time of the book, and this hero is garbed strangely like Ash. Jake, holding a gun, takes charge throwing the papers in the cellar and demanding that they all go out in the woods and search for Bobby Joe. This guy's such an idiot. It's like, dude, she's out there, she's dead. I'm not going out there. You're not going out there. Like, I know that's the best looking piece of tail you've ever had, but like,
it doesn't really make sense though. Like, for him not to believe that the pages would save them. It really doesn't. Like, in consideration with
everything else that's
going on, other than a plot driver.
Right. Why would you throw them? Even if they weren't going to work, why would you just throw them in the cellar? Like
the better plot driver, in my opinion, like one that would make more sense is that, like, if a very strong wind from the evil came along through the window and blew those pages into the cellar.
Oh, look, we got to go out the window, or
yeah, we all know we got to go
out
chase
there
the
anyway.
pages. Yeah, I mean,
now we got to go out there anyway, so we might as well look for Bobby Joe while we're out there.
That makes more sense. Just saying. Doesn't really make sense for him to go, they can't save us.
Yeah. And then he throws him in the cellar like a dick.
Like, have you looked around, dude? Like, none of this makes sense.
But I didn't like him. He's my least favorite character.
For sure. 100%.
Very, well, Ed's kind of a douche too.
Yeah.
My thing is, like, Ed and what's his face? Jake should have their names to be swapped. Jake looks more like an Ed. And Ed looks more like a Jake.
I agree.
Yeah. So that
but
was,
to be fair, we didn't have to put up with the other guy for very long.
It's true. He was he barely had any lines, and then he ate someone's hair.
Look, like,
so
once again, the rules of possession, like, make no sense in this movie.
No, they don't.
Like, and in this one, I can totally forgive it, but in, like, some of the other ones, it really just is completely off the wall. But at least in this one, everything's off the wall, so whatever. But
yeah, you think the one they'd be trying the hardest to possess would be Ash.
And he was. That's
But
the
then the
that's the
sunlight-
one that makes like the least amount of sense because he is possessed, and the sun cures him. Then he's possessed again for some reason, and they don't explain
His hand's
why.
possessed.
And then love cures him. So is he
Maybe
possessed,
his will.
but
Maybe
then
it's
he's
his
not?
will. Maybe his will is too strong for that, and he's able to push them out. You know what I mean? Push out the possession.
Yeah, but I mean that's only going to work for so long.
Maybe, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's why they were. Maybe that's why they were trying to break his sanity, so that it would be easier for them to overtake him.
Yeah, I guess, but then it's just not a thing anymore. Eventually,
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's just weird.
I don't know why they wouldn't try to possess the lady. Like,
I don't know.
what's her face?
Annie,
Annie. Yeah, that'd be the one I'd be going after because she's the smartest one.
right?
She knows how to read the
You need to
pages and
kill
everything.
her, or you need to like
Yeah.
possess her. One of the two.
And then the stab in
Or
the
both.
back, like that sucked. It was like, come on, man. Like, at least let her survive. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
So I know that smile that she gives Jake whenever he's like, "Yeah, I'll carry your bags," and she gives her that. She
Yeah.
gives him that
Yeah.
evil ass smile. Like, that's a good smile.
You
Yeah.
done fucked up.
That, yeah,
son.
that's a fucked.
You
Yeah,
done fucked up.
you done fucked up.
Yeah.
But she had like a great smile like that. She could have done an evil witch of some kind or something.
She had that Princess Vespa luggage.
Yeah.
What
And
the hell
I
is in this
can't live
luggage?
without it.
Giant ass fucking hair dryer.
Yeah, like the one guy, he got thrown into a wall, and that's what got him possessed. The boyfriend,
Yeah.
was it Ed or whatever?
Ed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got thrown into a wall, and that's how he got possessed.
Right.
And he was the coolest looking one, and he bit it like quick. He had like 75 teeth and
Yeah,
grinning
his
blood.
like opened his mouth. There's like teeth all in his mouth.
Yeah, he was like the coolest looking Deadeye.
and all he did with them teeth was eat some hair.
Yeah, and he survived like 5 seconds. I'm like, dude, he looks cool. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, he didn't last very long.
No.
She didn't seem too upset that he died either.
No, she
She's
didn't.
like, nah, I got a
quick
new
to
man.
move
Look at this
on.
hero.
She's
over
like,
here.
well, he's a lot.
Look at the
better
jawline
looking."
on this one.
Yeah, he's a lot.
That dude's got a
better
chin for days.
Especially in the third one.
looking.
Okay, so Jake holding a gun, take charge, blah, blah, blah. While out there, they can find Bobby Joe, Evil Force. Okay, so do the Evil Force work at trees so they get out? All right, Evil Ash returns and attacks Jake first, but Annie gets away back into the cabin where it's safe for the moment. Evil Ash pops up at the door and says, "Join us," to Annie, but she closes the door as Ash tries to get in. When he can't get in, he screams Annie. Ash heads for the back door. Man, there's still a lot to read. Fuck you guys.
Whatever happened? Did Bobby Joe, did it show her die?
Yeah, she died in the woods.
Yeah,
the
the-
trees
Oh yeah,
got
the
her.
trees. Yeah, they
Yeah.
they
It
wrapped
was one of
her
them
up.
scenes where like, fuck, are they gonna do the rape thing again?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then like they just like they don't do all that. They just like kill her. They kind of almost kill her off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like that scene where they're like they're getting her in the face and shit. Like
And
that
the
was
twigs are sticking in.
yeah, that was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
So you knew she died. Obviously, if
Yeah.
not, she's not as pretty as she used to be.
Mm-mm. There's some massive surgery that they
Yeah.
cannot undo.
Wood did the damage.
Yeah.
Ash heads for the back door of the cabin, realizing this. Annie heads to the back to lock the door. Ash realizes that he can't get in and hides while Jake makes his way back to the cabin. But upon getting in the door, he is stabbed by Annie because she thought it was Ash. Annie drags Jake to the front room of the cabin, but unknowingly lays him by the cellar door where Henrietta disposes of him.
Why wouldn't she just turn him? Like possess his body.
I don't know.
She was probably just hungry at that point.
Yeah.
She'd been down there for a while.
I don't think Deadites really care about turning other people into Deadites.
Oh, she would.
They just want to kill everything around them.
I'm saying if they would have had that, if she would have had him turned into a deadite, he could have.
Right. Let her out and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, they don't exactly think on their toes.
Mm.
It's weird because they don't
they
just
just
stand
fly.
on
I
their
don't think
feet.
they
Most
think
of,
very well.
most of the time they just fly.
Yeah.
Like how there was like this gratuitous amount of blood.
Yeah, it wasn't
spewed
even
out
like
on her.
it wasn't even like a red blood either. It was almost pink. It was very watery.
I mean, but there was just this gratuitous amount, and then she gets up and there's just like a drop on her shoulder.
That's what I said. Just like, wow, that's not much blood after what happened.
There was none in her hair.
Yeah,
there was
nothing.
none. And she's
On her face, just a little bit on her
drop
shoulder.
on her shoulder, and I'm like,
Huh.
Sweet.
Is
Can
that
I
one of
get
the
your
things
wardrobe?
One of them things
Yes.
you just gotta overlook, I guess.
must
It
have
should
had
have
like
been-
a
Would have been a great Tide commercial.
must have had like a car wash on the way
Yeah.
to from the door
From
to
down to
here.
up?
Yeah,
She used the Tide stick.
must have been.
stick.
That would have been
Yeah.
hilarious if she pulled
pulled one out of her
Yeah,
pocket.
like you see her like pull it out of her pocket, and then she stands up and throws it away. Like-
And it's just clean.
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
oh man, I don't have quite enough.
One wipe and throws it, and then she's all clean.
Yeah.
Annie backs away and only to be attacked by Ash, who lifts her and throws her against the wall. But his evilness is short-lived as he looks down to see Linda's necklace on the floor with the chain laying in the shape of a skull, and he comes out of his possession, crying for his lost love. Ash's mourning only lasts a moment because Annie begins to attack Ash for fear that he is still possessed, but he convinces her that he is fine, and so begins the cooperation to rid the world of the evil, but they need the pages in the cellar to do it. I'm all right.
I'm okay now.
You get it? I'm fine.
But what if he wasn't and that was the demon talking to her?
True, and that's why she attacked him the second time.
Well, what if he attacked her?
That's exactly what a Deadite would say.
Exactly. Annie and Ash gather whatever weapons they can find and prepare for the final confrontation. They do not gather any weapons they can find. They go out to the shed in one of the best scenes of the whole movie where he makes his chainsaw hand. And he says one of the best lines of all time.
For the first time.
Groovy.
Groovy. That's it. That's all you need. That right there. Madison looked back at me whenever, because like I said, she sits in front of me now. And she looked back at me and just smiled and shook her head.
Well,
Because
because
she
that
knew.
was his notification bell for the longest time on his phone. Whenever he didn't have it on silent, he used to have it like playing out loud all the time, and you'd hear it over and over and over again. Every time Crystal messaged him, Crystal used to like spam text him, like, groovy, groovy, groovy.
Mine's
Groovy.
Utini. Those little Jawas.
I don't even know what mine is now. Mine's always on vibrate because it's annoying. I hate cell phones.
Mine's that email, bing bing, and then it'll go mail motherfucker.
I don't know what mine is actually.
Turn it up, I'll message you.
I don't even know what it is. That's why I'm like,
Well, we'll find out together.
let's find out what it is, people.
Yep.
Sounds like a minion.
No, it's the Jawas from.
You're gonna message me or what?
Yeah.
Just say hi or something.
Test.
Oh, it's from Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. It's
Or who's
Nemesis
texting
saying
me from
stars.
Peter.
Mm.
Who's texting me?
I don't know what mine is either.
Mine's stars.
I know what my
Back down to vibrate. All right. I keep getting lost.
We're at the groovy part.
All right, yeah. Ash cuts open the cellar door and kicks it in, but goes down and gets the pages and tosses them up to Annie. Annie begins to read them, but gets distracted by an all-out attack by Henrietta. Henrietta makes it up before Ash and attacks Annie, but Ash comes to her rescue and fights with Henrietta, but he doesn't seem to be able to gain an advantage. Annie distracts Henrietta long enough for Ash to gain the advantage and dismember Henrietta. Ash's victory is short-lived, and another attack by the evil force begins and Ash is forced to fight it off while Annie finishes the passages to dispose of the evil. So the evil force shows itself finally, and it's that big fucking head in the
Makes me
door.
think of Freddy Krueger when he.
Yeah, I thought it looked cool, but I'm like, man, I kind of like it not having a face. You know
That's
what
why I
mean?
said I think that it's much better when they just do the crawl thing. Like when they come, it's most oftentimes when they have a budgetary restriction and they're
Yeah.
forced to be creative that they come up with something amazing and
Mhm.
iconic. And then when they have to actually show something or when they have to do something like that, it oftentimes isn't nearly as scary as what you can imagine in your own
They
mind.
should. What they
Right.
should have done is like had the crawl like coming up and like hitting Ash in the face like constantly.
Kind of like whenever we did Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah.
And the camera came through the window. Like, oops.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Where was I? Annie is almost cut short by Ash's possession hand. Annie is almost cut short by Ash's possessed hand that stabs her in the back, but she finishes the passage just before dying.
Oh yeah, because it did disappear at one point in time, didn't it?
Yeah, but the plan backfires slightly since Ash is pulled into the vortex that is taking away taking away all the evil and sending it back where it belongs. Ash is sent back through time
Is it
to
because there's an evil thing in him?
No, it just was sucking in everything.
Even the car.
Car, everything.
He
Ash
could
is
have got
sent
behind
back.
another wall.
Huh?
He could have got behind another wall.
Right, you would think.
It's crazy because it's like it's strong enough to lift up a damn stove, and it's not just any stove. It's one of those gas oven stoves that were like 3,000
Cast iron.
pounds, but like that fucking rickety ass cabin with the swing's still there. I mean, like, wow.
Well, not to mention, like, how do you turn it off?
Well, I mean, I imagine like whenever all of the evil's gone, it somehow senses that. I mean, it's a
And it
supernatural
just-
force.
It closes.
And it closes, but it's just, well, and like what killed me too, like when the stove was going over his head, he still hadn't grabbed onto anything, so it was strong enough to grab that stove, but no, he's still fighting.
He's strong.
He's a tough
He's
son
a
of a bitch.
strong boy.
He's a tough son
Yeah,
of a
he's a
bitch.
strong
Why do you
guy.
think Annie liked him?
Oh yeah.
That's why she wasn't upset about Ed.
Well,
Fuck Ed.
Got a new one.
Yep, got this guy over here. Look at this
Well, if
guy.
you look at Bruce Campbell versus Ed, especially at that time,
Yeah.
who are you gonna pick?
Yeah. Agreed. Ash is sent back through time to the time of the Necronomicon. Knights surround him when he hits the ground, and they are just about to kill him when a demon comes flying in to attack them, but Ash gets the upper hand and disposes of it with his trusty boomstick. The knights stand in awe as the demon is dead and the warrior still stands. The leader of the knights, played by Sam Raimi, raises his face shield and what? That was Sam Raimi?
Mhm.
I didn't even realize that.
Mhm.
I didn't even pay any attention. Raises his face shield and exclaims, "Hail!"
He looks like the sad puppy version of Ted.
He does too. Yeah. Yeah. Hail who has come from the sky to deliver us from the terrors of the Deadites. Ash realizes his fate as the hero in the page illustration that he saw earlier in the movie and is troubled by it and begins screaming no. As the knights gather around him exclaiming "Hail!" as the movie comes to an end. Hail to the king, baby.
You know, considering how
Oh yeah, it was that at one point in time too.
What?
Hail to the king, baby.
That's an Army of Darkness.
Yeah, it's an Army of Darkness.
It used to be your or your notification bell at one point.
Hail to the king, baby.
But considering how like disjointed and like ludicrous the rest of the movie is, that whole wraparound that they did
Yeah.
with the castle, finding it in the castle, and then the picture and all of that, and then bringing it around to the forefront with him getting sucked in and then coming up, and then you see the castle in the foreground and all
Right.
that. That's pretty good
Yeah.
considering like the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
And how-
I think that what they did with it by sending him back in time and shit, setting up the third, which I'm not even sure if he even planned on doing a third.
I don't remember, honestly.
So
I think it might be in trivia, but I
if
don't
he
remember.
did plan on it, he didn't have it planned out or written or anything.
No, I wouldn't think so. But it's just kind of not on par with the rest of the movie, I guess. Like it's kind of genius in comparison.
I agree. I think it's great.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like we said, it's a setup for the third one, but the third one starts out differently.
Yeah. They kind of retcon the whole like hero thing. They don't believe that he's hero.
No, they just take him in, and the boomstick thing don't even come in until the third one.
Yeah.
Because he says, "This is my boomstick."
Yeah.
So
right, because they're knights from back then. They don't know what it is.
No.
Yeah,
no, he finds ways to explain it to him in a way that like
this is my boomstick.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys have any notes or anything you want to go over?
No, I'm good. I brought up what I wanted to bring up.
This is why I like reading the movie, because you just go through all the stuff that you enjoyed, and I think we need to start saying something that we hate and something that we love about the movies that we watch.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
our
I'll
favorite
go
thing
first.
and our least favorite thing about a
I'll go
movie.
first. I hated. Hold on, I don't want to go first anymore.
Try talking into the mic and not up into the ceiling.
I was thinking.
I have to look up to think.
I do. It helps me think.
She's waiting for the light bulb.
Come on, turn on.
Think, McFly.
You guys can. Yeah, you guys can go first. I don't know.
What's your favorite thing and worst thing about the movie, Eric?
Oh man, so I really enjoy the slapstick comedy with the movie. Man, what I don't like about the movie, I don't know. I guess the screaming's not as bad as Texas Chainsaw, but it got a little.
His screaming?
No, not
Or
really
just-
him. It was what's her name?
What's her face?
Which one? Annie?
Yeah, when she's
The
like
main girl?
Yeah, when she starts her screaming, that's kind of gets.
She wasn't that bad.
No, like I said, it wasn't as bad as Texas Chainsaw, but it got a little bit of a towards the end. It was like, okay, you can stop.
shut up now.
Yeah, I guess that was probably the worst for me.
He doesn't like people screaming in movies.
No,
He's thinking, why do you got to be so obnoxious? I hear enough screaming at home from my kids.
just I mean, you scream once, you don't have to scream for like 10-15 minutes. You know, it's I don't know. That's about it for me. Like bad parts of it. I'm sure if I think of something else, I'll let you know.
You know what? I'm glad Final Girls have evolved from screaming like that.
Yeah, it became too much of a trope, and they kind of
The obnoxious scream.
yeah.
That's when it
People
gets-
got tired of seeing the same tropes in horror movies like that, so they changed things up. It happens all the time. Everything you're seeing nowadays with movies have tropes. Eventually, they'll get old and they'll move on to something new. It's just
What do you think
movies.
the trope is now? Them
Tropes?
all being baddies?
No, tropes are the tropes now. Making fun of tropes, being meta, those are all tropes now.
Mhm.
But it won't be whenever I'm 30.
Exactly. By the time you're in your
Almost
30s or whatever, all that shit's going to be old news, and they're going to be doing something new. Where,
They go in cycles.
as I
though.
say, they might even go back to the old tropes, to be honest with you. Because I've seen a lot of that where they like to go back to old shit, redo old tropes, and whatever.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see where they go from there.
Did you watch that Imaginary movie yet?
I don't know if I want to.
Is it getting bad reviews?
It's got really
Yes.
bad reviews.
Nobody likes
Really?
it.
Yeah,
The trailers look so good.
I know. Nothing like a giant killer teddy bear.
I did too. I just got past
I
that
said
episode of
once those two
Supernatural.
I
powerhouses
know.
joined
Dude,
forces, it was going to go downhill, and it did.
You guys, I just got past the episode of Supernatural where the big teddy bear is all sad and he's drinking.
I think
And
I
I
saw
got
that. I remember
past-
that one.
Yeah, and I got past the one where Dean's scared of everything.
That's
Dude, that's one of the best episodes. And he screams.
That was scary.
That was scary.
I
And
love
then he
Dean.
he sees the guy and he's like, And then he just runs away.
I love Dean.
Oh yeah.
So do I.
He's the funniest. Like the one episode where he pulls his pants down and goes, "Pudding!"
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that episode. I want to watch that episode so bad.
It's
And
funny.
he goes, "We are insane.
Yeah.
Crazy people, Sam. We are insane."
All right, Karen, what are your favorite things, or your favorite thing and your worst thing?
Favorite thing would be the geniusness of the ending, the setup, the way that they brought all that together. Because of the tone of the rest of the movie makes that damn near genius.
Right.
Least favorite thing, and I don't know, it's a thing in all the movies, so it's probably my least favorite thing in all the movies, but I hate that there's no rhyme or reason to the possessions. I really hate that.
I understand your frustration because it can be kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Like, so who's going to get it next? It could be anybody.
Like,
and
that's
for no reason
okay.
at all.
Like, I don't even mind that it's a surprise. It's more so...
How or why?
It's more so like when it's ridiculous. Like the boyfriend just getting thrown into a wall and that's what possesses him. That's dumb.
I don't know if that's what possesses him, which it's kind of like, okay, so you know why Ash's hand gets possessed. He was bit, his hand was bit
That
by
makes
the
sense.
head.
Or like you get blood in your mouth or like those kind of things, sure. But like if you just get
You need a physical
thrown
reason
into
what you're saying.
like don't just like the boyfriend like got thrown down on the floor or
Yeah.
whatever. Like there was no physical reason for him to be the one
Right.
that got possessed. It would have made more sense for the rednecky guy to get possessed because he was closer to her. He could have gotten like spittle in his mouth or something.
Not to
I
mention
would
he's
have
very
bought that.
weak-willed. I don't know why they wouldn't try to.
Yeah, I would have bought
Possess
that.
him.
I would have bought that he got it before the other guy.
It's funny because him and Bobby Joe are the only two that don't get possessed in the movie.
Yeah.
Well, I guess and Annie, I suppose, but
Yeah.
like those two are like, I'm like, those are the two most weak-willed people in the movie. Why wouldn't they be the first one to be possessed?
It
So-
just that's probably one of the biggest. It just bothers me. That's all.
Favorite thing? Oh yeah, the wraparound.
Yeah.
What about you, Madison?
My favorite thing probably gonna be him smashing plates over his head. I thought that was really fun.
That's probably one of
hand.
the best parts of the movie.
Yeah. And
The whole hand possession part is just amazing.
Oh no, her like making noises every time her head got hit against the wall.
That shit is pretty funny.
I don't really know what my least favorite part would be though. I really did like the whole movie. Probably I didn't like the way that grandma looked. Or Annie's mom or whatever.
Henrietta.
Henrietta?
Henrietta, yeah. That she
Oh, swallow your
looked
soul.
weird.
I swallow your soul. I swallow your soul.
It kind of reminded me, because I played Little Nightmares, right? And there is this, and I think the second bad guy in it, he has, his neck stretches.
Right.
And it kind of reminded me of that.
Oh, when the
And it was like the creepiest part in the whole, he was the janitor. Because it takes place in, like, you're really small, and the whole place is big. And it takes place in, like, not a hospital, but this place.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
But he was the janitor.
So it gave you that vibe.
Yeah. And he was creepy. He was the scariest. And in one of the parts, like, you're just walking, and then he jumps down, and his head starts chasing you. It's really creepy.
So, your least favorite part is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that Legion?
Oh, like Legion? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that movie. That movie wasn't bad. That movie,
Yeah.
I don't
like Legion.
You like Legion? Like, some people, like, I don't know who all didn't like it or anything, but it's one of the movies that, like, people forgot about, like, but it was a good movie.
Yeah, the milkman dude or whatever.
Yeah.
He gets out and he's
Yeah.
like, his
That's
arms are all
that's
long.
Doug Jones.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
He
I
did-
like Legion.
Yeah, that's Doug Jones. He's the same guy
he
that
does
did.
a lot of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you need a skinny, creepy dude.
Yeah,
That's
he's the
your
one
guy.
who did
Pan's Labyrinth.
Yep.
Pan's
Yeah,
Labyrinth. He was also what's his face from
Hellboy. He did the. He's
yeah,
the
he was-
Aqua dude.
yeah. He was the Billy from
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus. Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Yeah.
That's Doug.
He
Jones.
does a lot of
Mhm.
costume.
Witch.
Bucktooth Firefly from hell.
Say whatever you want, man. Just don't breathe on me.
I've waited centuries to say that.
For me, I think that my favorite thing. Actually, I'll start with my least favorite thing. I think my least favorite thing. I'm gonna have to go with Karen. I think the no rhyme or reason for the possessions is really annoying. It can be annoying. For a movie like this that I've seen 100 times, it's whatever. But at the same time, I get where somebody coming in on this movie would be like, so why are they possessed? How are they being possessed? Because this makes no fucking sense. Why are they, like, like, what did that guy do to get possessed or whatever?
I think if it was a one-off, it'd be fine. But you see it in the first movie, you see it in this movie.
Even in the third one, though.
Yeah, I don't...
Because his girlfriend gets possessed, like, you're like, but why?
But I think that's because the dude, like, rapes her.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to watch the third one again because it's been a while. But you see it in the remake.
Mm-hmm.
You see it in
Rise.
So it's like... I don't know if they just were like, oh, that's great. It's part of the series, so let's just take it with all of the movies.
I think they do. I think that
but
they're
it's
like...
just...
It's kind of a cop-out, though.
It is.
It's like a loophole in their writing. They're like, well...
Well, we don't have to explain why this character gets it.
Yeah,
he's just going to get it.
He's just going to get it. Like, okay, well, how do we move this along from here? Well, so-and-so gets possessed. Okay, well, how they get possessed doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. They get possessed. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like a loophole in their writing for these movies. And
yeah, they don't have to...
It can be really annoying. It's kind of like, well... But then again, it's nice not seeing it coming, too. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Because, like,
it's not the surprise aspect that I hate. It's the ridiculous ones that bother me.
Yeah. Well, it's nice because, like, in some cases, you're like, okay, that guy got scratched on the hand. You know he's going to get possessed. Well, that doesn't happen in this. It does happen in Rise, though, where the girl got scratched or whatever and then turned into... Yeah. But like
like Bobby Joe, she caught that freaking eyeball in her mouth.
Yeah, and nothing came of it.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like, it would make more sense to me if that always happened. Like, you got like an eyeball to the mouth and blood in your mouth and all that, and you were gonna get possessed. But also, you might get possessed for no reason too. Like, that would make more sense to me.
Right.
Like, I could buy that. But for those physicalities to happen and nothing happens to you, but like the other dude gets thrown on the floor, but he gets it.
It could be the same way that, Ash got possessed. He got picked up by the force and thrown into a tree.
But that sort of makes sense though, because like, that's how Linda got it too. Like, it attacked her.
Yeah,
so being attacked by it, I can kind of understand.
How did he get thrown up against the wall?
Henrietta threw him. Like, Henrietta grabbed him and threw him.
She was in the cellar.
Yeah, she took her hand and she threw him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she could have scratched
him. That may be.
Maybe, but we don't
as
see
the
that.
audience, we don't see it.
We don't know that.
Yeah.
I get where she's coming from.
Yeah.
But anyway, my favorite thing in this is Ash.
You think?
That's it.
What
Bruce Campbell.
Out.
Everything he does is fucking entertaining. The laughing part, the part where he's like dancing, like it's funny because the one part with Henrietta when he like hits her and she goes down and comes back and she's doing the three cheers like
she's powering up. Leave her alone.
Okay. So the slapstick shit in this movie is fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite thing about it is definitely Ash. That whole montage in the shed. And then him saying groovy is one of my favorite things from any movie ever.
It's a great scene.
I fucking love it. I know it's old and it's dated, but it still holds up to me, man. Like, I still love it.
We had the 4K and it looked amazing.
I just have it on Blu-ray.
The 4K is
the skinny
amazing.
Barbie thing kind of threw me off too a little bit. Like, I enjoyed the scene because it was pretty good fun, comical, but I don't know.
It looked bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say that's probably the worst.
Stop motion shit.
Yeah, I think that was probably my worst part in the movie.
All right, well, anyway, let's go ahead and get into rating and reviewing Evil Dead 2.
Let's go this bitch.
All right, I guess we're going to start with Madison. Madison, what did you...
As per usual?
Yeah, as per usual.
I'm going to give it...
As per usual, she's going to give it. As if she's not all over the fucking map.
Right. 1 week she'll like this, and she's like, hold on, what did I give Evil Dead 1?
I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a 7.5.
No reasons or anything?
Oh, yeah, I'll give you guys some reasons. You want some? I actually really liked this movie. I thought it was like the perfect mixture of horror and comedy. It was a little more funny to me because it's old. And it was kind of grainy.
That's what makes it great, though.
So it just added on to the funny. I think I jumped once. I think.
You did?
I don't know. Did I?
I don't know.
I remember. Oh no, I was watching Supernatural and I jumped. So I'm getting.
So I was watching the movie, not you. So.
Oh. I don't think I jumped to this, but I did jump to Supernatural. I think something popped up and I was not expecting. I was like, oh.
It was the cat.
That's that. But we're talking about the Evil Dead stuff. You're right. Bruce Campbell is awesome. I'm getting there. And the first one, I didn't see it.
She's gonna be getting a Bruce Campbell tattoo before you know it.
What? No.
Full back.
Whoa.
Whole back piece,
Be
or just a back piece of all his different characters.
No,
Bubba Hotep, fucking Ash. Like
You
she's
know
just
what,
going to
Dad?
get an
You
ash
know what?
tattoo right on her butt cheek.
Ash. Yeah, I
on the
get it.
ash cheek.
Her ash
That
cheek.
which one?
That's
This is
like
my ass
Ash
cheek.
on her ash cheek.
Yeah, this is my ass cheek, and this one's my ash cheek.
Or they could
Oh,
both
yeah.
be the one that just
You know
says
what,
groovy
Dad?
on
I'll
it.
leave that. I'll leave that job to you. You can do that.
I would too.
He would.
I'd get groovy right on my ass.
Anyways.
He'd just do that.
You should put that as
He'd
the
just
tramp
put.
stamp above.
He would literally put that right there on his ass and say ash cheek. I could see that.
Dad, me and you should get, like, you know your other arm that doesn't have a sleeve? Me and you should both get a whole sleeve together.
Of ash?
No.
Oh.
He was excited for a second.
It can have a... It can say groovy in it if you want it to.
I've already got this arm planned out. I want to do a bunch of cartoon stuff.
You better get on it.
I know. Why? What are you trying to say? Because I'm getting old?
No, I'm saying because your other one's fading, you still got to get that one done, too.
Yeah, I know.
She's trying to say before you get old and wrinkly
Yeah.
and
Before it starts to
Sad.
Loose
wrinkle up and then
skin.
it all moves together. I got a long time before that.
How old are you?
We also did
Ouch.
40 would
25.
happen very quick.
Oh, okay. okay. I understand. Don't you have, like, 10 years? That's enough time, right?
10 years for what?
I thought people started wrinkling when
Oh, man. I thought she was like, before you die, you know? God damn. Before you start to wrinkle up. No, I won't be wrinkly in 10 years. I look good for my age. Just go. Come on, go.
now you make him
I'm
self-conscious.
making him uncomfortable. Okay, what is it? What were you talking about? Tattoos?
No, we're
No,
talking
talk
about
about
your
the movie.
review.
Oh.
This is how this happens almost every time.
Oh my god.
Squirrel.
But
Birth control is a real thing, people. A real thing.
And yeah, I'm still here.
Condoms still exist.
They don't work.
Just saying. They do work.
Why am I here?
Because I didn't use either.
Okay.
He made a choice that he doesn't regret. Let's put it that way.
He does in this moment.
In this moment.
I don't regret anything. Okay.
Look
I
me
have,
in the eyes and
I have
say
a lot
that.
of... Not you. I don't regret you. I have a lot of regrets, but not you.
Look me in the eyes and say that.
I don't regret you, Madison.
You can't even say it
It's because you're smiling. Like, how am I supposed to not?
Just go.
Let's go.
Okay. I'm trying to think about the movie. I feel like I've been drugged.
You sound like you've been drugged.
Okay. They had Jello at school today.
What's
okay?
in that drink?
No, they had orange Jello in the cups,
It's
and
not
it looked
A
Twix.
lot
like
of caffeine.
no, it looked like the cups they give you at the psych wards with the pill.
Mm-hmm.
It looked just like those cups, and I swear, as soon as I ate it, I couldn't think.
No, that's
There
called
was-
the Sydney school system.
No. Not only that, but that's what the Jello at the psych wards do too. They make them stay there forever.
Okay, are you done with your review?
I'm trying to enlighten you guys.
No, I need you to finish your review.
Okay. Review finished. Go ahead.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't even know if she was done or if she just lost her place. It was like, screw it, I'm over with it.
I'm over
going
it.
the latter.
You're right, I will be wrinkled in 10 years.
Because
Okay.
I'll be moved out in less than 2.
He's
Hey, almost one. Almost 1 year. You're almost there, Dad. You
Almost.
can see the finish line.
Almost. I can see it. No, I can't see it. I still got 10 years of your brother.
No, you can see the finish line with me, not with them.
All right. I think for me, this is obviously this is my bread and butter right here. I love this movie. I love this series. I even love the new movies. I love the remake. I love all of them. But this one right here is the one that started me on this franchise. Like,
that's what I was going to say.
the first one was good for what it was, for being a low budget horror movie. But this right here is the first one that I ever saw. And it was by far, definitely probably the best. Whenever I saw this movie made me fall in love with the character Ash, the series itself, Sam Raimi as a director. It put Sam Raimi on the map for me because I don't even think I saw this movie before I ever saw any of the Spider-Man movies, before any of them were ever out. I saw this before Sam Raimi was a big name, period. So this movie to me is pretty much part of my childhood, and I love it, and I love Ash, and you can pick flaws out of it, and you can hate it if you want, but for me, this movie is all day a 9, because this movie is just, it's fucking hilarious. I love Ash, I love the characters, and I really wish that there would have been more in fluidity. You know what I mean? Like, you know how they have like franchises that go on forever. This is a franchise that I feel like has not gotten stale over the 30-some years that it's been around. Because you've got the first original 3. They've even remade the fucking original or rebooted it, whatever they call it. And it was fucking fantastic as a
Did they all
remake.
get right by trees in that one?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Kind of, yeah. In a sense, yeah, they did. But even the remake was amazing. The remake was gory as shit. It was really good. It was one of the best remakes I've ever seen.
Yep.
And that's saying a lot for a franchise that I adore.
Mm-hmm.
You think me as a hardcore fan would be like, oh, that movie was dog shit. You know, like it was nothing like the... No, that's not how I feel about it. I think it was great. Mm-hmm. Evil Dead Rise was good, which we've reviewed.
Yeah, we did.
3 out of 5 of these movies now. So all we got left is the remake and Army of Darkness.
Yeah, Army
I
of
think
Darkness.
I watched Evil Dead Rise. Is that the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
watched it for this podcast.
Was I here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say I watched it with you guys.
Yeah, because we were doing it on.
We were here. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, this movie's easily a 9 for me all day. I love it.
Are you sure?
100%. There's only a few movies that have a higher score than this movie for me.
I think I'm getting dementia.
Probably.
Dang.
So
That's what I was going to say, by the way. Everything he just said, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. I just couldn't think.
Except for it not being a 9.
Yeah, besides that.
Karen, what do you think of it?
Well, I actually saw the first one first, and then this one.
I don't know which one I saw. I think I saw this one first
I
before
think-
the first one.
I think I saw the first one. Pretty sure I saw the first one. But I liked the low budgetness of the first one in general. Kind of like the underdog story. I really like low budget stuff. But seeing this one, I am a huge fan of horror comedy. So this is like my bread and butter here.
Give it a little bit more of a tip. Yep.
Yep, that's the tip, all right.
Wow.
Just the
Sorry.
tip.
Wow. She said, yep, that's the tip, all right.
Oh.
Madison,
You're grounded.
grow up.
Grow up.
Me telling me to grow up. He started it.
What did
You're the
I
one
say?
who always runs around the house saying, That's what she said. That's what she
I
said.
said it
That's
one
what she
time
said.
today. I haven't said it in weeks. I say Buki and Pookie. That's it.
Anyway,
Pronounce
Karen,
out, get
before
along
you were
with
rudely
Pookie.
interrupted,
Pookie. What does that mean?
that's just what she calls people, Buki and Pookie.
Buki means bro Pookie.
And then Pookie
What?
is
Pookie.
female Pookie.
Oh.
Like Pookie, like, hey, Pookie Bear.
Okie
I'm
dokie.
lost.
Hey, my Pookie Wookie.
Welcome to
Tookie
my
Wookie.
life.
Wookie Bear.
Mm-hmm.
Never
Okay.
a dull moment around here.
No.
My Pookie Wookie Gookie Bear.
Anyway, I really like horror comedies. This is top notch.
This is what made horror comedies, in my opinion.
It's very early on, so yeah. Yeah, I like it a lot. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Eric, what do you think of Evil Dead 2, man?
You all said it, so there we go. That's it. No, I've always enjoyed the movie. I think it's lost a little bit of flavor for me the past couple of years. That's why I can't get into. I couldn't get into as much as I have back in the past.
Understandable.
But the horror comedy is just, it's on par. I mean, there's nothing, you can't talk bad about the comedy in this movie. It's made, the movie, you can't really knock the movie for anything like plot wise or anything. There was no reason to, because the plot wasn't to be the focal point of the movie, in my opinion.
God damn, my phone just started going wild.
Yeah, I was constantly getting hit with Discord.
That's probably what it is. It's probably
John.
John's Discord. Yeah.
What else? There's nothing really bad about the movie. I'm still sticking with probably an 8 for myself.
Okay.
I mean, back in the day, I would have rated this probably a 9 to an 8.5, 9. But Army of Darkness is my
Army of Darkness is a
main
lot of
one.
people's favorites, and I don't blame them. Army of Darkness is great, but I like this one because it's just Ash. You know what I mean? And it's him, and it's confined, and there's a lot that went into making this movie compared to what Army of Darkness offered.
Yeah.
Army of Darkness is more of a had more character, had more people in it, had more going on with it, whereas this one is I told Madison last night, this is the Ash show. That's what this movie is.
I think I think Army of Darkness is more of the Three Stooges. That's why I enjoy it more.
Like the part where he falls down and the skeletons are poking him in the eye.
Yeah. I mean, there's the hot water where he's pouring down his stomach. Ah!
It's pretty entertaining shit.
Well, hopefully we pull it for next week, because y'all are making me excited.
I mean, we could just say we're doing it, but
Eric's like, I'm down.
Eric's like, I love the movie. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
Let's watch it.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Yeah, so 8 for me.
Okay, so it's 8.125.
There you go.
Sweet.
Alrighty then, Madison. What about them Rotten Tomatoes?
Rotten Tomatoes.
Don't
Maters.
Be careful next to the mic.
Oh, yeah.
The Maters.
The Maters.
Rotten Maters.
I'll get them Rotten Tomatoes out for you guys. Don't worry. Take one else.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
For critics, I'm going to say
Critics?
60,
oh, no.
65.
I'm going to say 50. I'm going to say 47 for critics.
Okay.
Damn.
I think critics.
Honestly, I don't know. I have no idea where this stands with critics.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm saying 65.
I'm saying 47.
I know it's
I wouldn't imagine it'd be lower than
I know
mine.
it's more like than the original.
It's got to be in the ballpark between the 60s and 50s.
But I believe I want to say it's low, but I don't want to guess it low.
I'm
Go with
going
your
to
gut,
guess
man.
higher
I know.
for the audience.
Go with your gut.
I'm throwing around 70% in my mind, but I'm like, I bet that's wrong. I don't know. I'm going 70. Fuck it, 70.
What'd you say? 65?
65.
You were
47.
Dad got it's 88%.
Oh my
from
god!
the critics.
Wow. Okay. So our score accumulated was actually pretty close. So.
Yeah.
For
the audience?
For audience?
78.
I bet it's up and around there.
You said 78.
Well, I don't know.
I'm going to say 90.
Because people can be really fucking pretentious.
Yeah,
on
I'm going to say
this.
90. I'm just going to go on the high note.
I'm going to go low. I'm going lower than critics.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you that people who are pretentious enough to write a fucking review on here don't like this movie. So I'm going to go...
I got a lot of bumps here I can use.
I'm going to go 65%.
78.
90.
Eric got it. It's 89%.
Oh, wow.
Damn,
I was wrong.
Right on
You pretentious bastard.
Pretentious bastard. They're like, yeah, okay, the people who have a podcast on reviewing movies, calling other reviews pretentious. Really?
You pretentious
that's what it is, dude. They're like, yeah, we're pretentious. You have a
self-righteous
podcast.
bastard.
We're finally going to blow up, and it's going to people point out you being pretentious.
Yeah.
We'll be big tomorrow. Hashtag pretentious prick.
Hey,
Go to
man.
school, they're gonna be like, "This is your dad, isn't it?" Oh God.
That'd be fucking hilarious, dude.
You're have to wear a fucking monocle from now on.
Yes.
A top hat, monocle, and a fucking cup of tea. Peeky out, just.
Sorry.
That's your adjust your pinky. There you go. Nope.
Actually,
put the ring finger
that's
down.
honestly,
You
if you
have a
catch
ring
me,
on your
like that's how
finger?
I drink.
Sorry.
There you
My
go.
pinky's
Keep your ring
It's because
finger
ever since I
down.
broke my hand.
There you go. That's it, sweetie.
It's like a rubber band.
You got it.
All right.
Have mercy.
Critics' consensus. Less a continuation than an outright reimagining. Sam Raimi transforms his horror tale into a comedy of terrors, and arguably even improves on the original formula. All right.
I think that this is where I like what they said there because it brings up a good point where Sam Raimi really found his footing with this movie. This is where he first realized, holy shit, this is what I'm good at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Evil Dead was something, what I wanted to do, but this is where he
This
found...
is what the story actually should be.
This is what the story should be and where I want to
it's
take
going.
it because it's fun, it's goofy, and I think he fully realized what kind of director he is.
Yeah.
Okay. Reviews.
Seriously.
This is half star. BD says the only horror here is the fact that millions watch this. The only comedy here is that this movie is an insult to anyone with an IQ over 31. I just wish the monster had gotten the writer and director of this 10th rate trash. Only in a civilization on the verge of downfall would this be timid? I don't know, entertainment, or dare I say it, art.
Well,
man, you are one pathetic loser.
so being the pretentious guy that I am, go fuck yourself.
Are you happy or are you gonna fuck me up?
Half a star. It was horrible and trash. I wouldn't recommend this to anyone. Even Thanksgiving 3 was better.
That is like the worst insult I've ever heard.
Oh, wow.
Thanksgiving 3 doesn't exist.
Oh God.
It's a big joke inside.
I thought
the
it was
movie.
2 that didn't exist.
Or no, yeah, 2 doesn't.
Yeah,
exist.
2 doesn't.
Because 3 was all about
It
them
was
finding
about finding
2.
the second one. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
That's still pretty bad.
I was going to say, it would have been even funnier if they said Thanksgiving 2 was better
I think
than
that's
this.
what they meant.
Maybe.
But the fact that they said 3, they kind of played themselves if that's what they were going for.
You're killing me, Smalls.
1 star. Evil Dead 2, also known in publicity materials as Evil Dead 2: Dead by Dawn, is a 1987 American comedy horror film directed by Sam Raimi. It is a sequel to the 1981 horror film The Evil Dead. Oof, this is rotten. Don't bother seeing it. The sequel to the ultimate experience.
So wait, why did he
Full
give us the
terror.
entire...
That's what I was going to
Yeah.
say. Like,
You don't need to tell us what you're reviewing.
we're
Just
on the
fucking
page,
review
man.
it.
We
Yeah.
know what we're
we
here
know
for.
what we're here for. You
Yeah.
fucking moron.
Pretentious prick.
Pretentious prick.
Oh,
God
he's
damn.
not done though. It says
Oh,
Ash
Jesus.
Williams.
Good.
and his girlfriend Linda find a log cabin in the woods with a voice recording from their
He's just going to
archaeologist
go ahead and write
who
up
had recorded himself reciting ancient chants from the Book of the Dead. As they play recording, an evil power is unleashed, taking over Linda's
Thank
body.
you. What's this guy's name?
Michael.
Thank you, Mikey.
Fuck your own face!
Yeah, fuck your own face,
Michael
Mikey.
B.
Mikey Vagina.
Oh god.
Michael B. Board gotta tell everybody else's lyrics.
Right. Thank you for the entire plot synopsis there, bud.
We know, dude.
Yeah.
2.5 stars by Colin M. This movie recycled the main elements in Evil Dead 1, so it lacked the originality of Evil Dead 1. It then worked too hard to try to produce interesting movies. A movie, nonetheless, through inclusion of lots of additions and variations on the Evil Dead 1 model. It mixed horror with comedy humor, which didn't work for me in this case, as I was expecting a horror film, and the acting became ham. None of the characters had much appeal, so I didn't really care anyway what happened to them. One of the characters disappeared from the story in the middle, and I wasn't sure why. Who
disappeared?
I think he's talking about that Bobby Joe or whatever, but they
No, she didn't disappear. Unless, No,
that's what I'm saying. The only one that went away midway through the film
was her, but she died, obviously.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I think they weren't paying attention or something.
Yeah, either they weren't paying attention, or maybe they're talking about Ed. I mean, but he died.
That's what I'm saying. They explained every single one of them. The only one that I can think of that even makes a modicum of sense
would be Bobby Joe,
because she went into the woods. Like...
Yeah, I don't understand.
You know what? That does make sense because remember she was in the room with them, and then all of a sudden she wasn't. And he starts going, "Where is she? Where is she?" They did show what happened to her,
right?
But I'm saying like, she did go missing.
Maybe the version he watched cut that scene out.
Maybe we'll give you the benefit
of
the doubt.
No points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah, for real, man.
This is 2.5 stars. Noting that I am not the target audience for this franchise, Evil Dead 2.
Give a fuck.
Why are you reviewing it then if you're not the target audience?
Hold on. Didn't you just say at the beginning of this podcast that you'd recommend this to anyone, even the not target audience?
Okay, but don't leave a review on a movie that you're not the target audience for.
Right? If you're not if you hadn't...
I'm
not the target audience, but I'm gonna give you my input on it. That'd be like me going on and reviewing The Notebook. This shit is garbage. It's boring as fuck, and Ryan Gosling could find someone else.
But technically, you could be the target audience for that. You're an adult male. Adult males would be somebody that could or would watch that movie.
The Notebook?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because you're an adult male.
Do they like vaginas or?
Well, yeah. I mean, technically, don't adult males like vaginas?
That's what I'm saying. If they do, then why would they watch this fucking movie? Well, I mean, that movie.
Well, I'm just saying, like, adult.
Okay, Twilight.
Okay.
I'm not going to get on and review Twilight. You know why?
I'm saying, like, more appropriately, it would be like, oh, I'm not going to go and watch, some fucking Disney youth show.
Right.
And then go, you know what? This movie about worms crawling around on the ground that,
The Descendants.
Yeah, My Little Pony. I hated it. It was so stupid. I know what the color blue is. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So stupid. If you're not the target audience, why are you leaving a review?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the kind of thing.
On the same page.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm getting
Go watch
at.
the Teletubbies movie.
Now,
but you can't say The Notebook because you are that. You could be.
I guess I could be that demographic.
Yeah, if
you're
her
right.
go-to is The Notebook and she is over here reviewing Evil Dead.
Why?
Okay, but why would you go and review The Notebook?
I wouldn't.
Then why are we switching it from The Notebook to My Little Pony?
Because that's more appropriate. I wouldn't watch My Little Pony and then give a review about it. I'm not the target audience for My Little Pony.
But you wouldn't watch The Notebook or give a review and then give a review about it, right?
No, but that's just because I wouldn't watch The Notebook.
Because she's not a bitch.
I'm not a bitch, yeah.
But you would watch My Little Pony then?
No.
No, it's just you're missing the point. Like,
you're missing the point entirely.
entirely. It's like, woo! Right over the
I
head.
told you there were drugs in the Jello, okay?
Yeah.
Woo!
You remember them paper airplanes you used to make during the podcast?
Yeah.
One of them fuckers just flew over your head.
There's a
We
big
heard
one, too.
Just,
Sound
it's
like a B-52 bomber.
Yeah.
My
I
bad.
felt the air all the way over here.
I still don't get it, you guys.
Oh man, just
But
read.
let's
read on.
Let's go on.
Noting that I'm not the target audience for this franchise, I knew you guys would have something to say about that too. Like, oh,
You pick some good
yeah.
reviews. I'll give you.
Mhm.
I'll give it to you.
There wasn't many, so.
Put that cookie down!
No, I'm saying the guy just needs to stop talking.
Yeah. Evil Dead 2 retains any of the scary elements from the first and doubles down on the comedy. I found the nonsensical nature of the film to be a bit overbearing, and the acting was horrendous. I know it's supposed to be campy, but with that logic
The
there...
first one was even more campy.
Yeah.
But with that logic, there are so many other horror franchises that do the same thing and get panned. Not much to grasp into regarding a plot. There were a few sequences that made me chuckle, but overall, I find it to be an over-the-top mess. Okay. Bigger budget, more gags, about the same level of depth or connection. That was only 1 star. 3 stars. I was running out of stars here. There weren't many 1 stars. I can only describe the film as zombies on crack. While I enjoyed it, it was nowhere near as good as the first one or as good as the pinnacle of horror comedies, Brain Dead. Worth a watch though. Also, how the frick frack, it doesn't actually say that, is this 15 when Sweeney Todd is an 18?
What the
Sweeney?
fuck?
Where did that come from? That's right out of the left field.
Yeah, exactly. Like Sweeney Todd is not even in the same realm of this fucking movie. Like, I get it. They're both. I mean, I wouldn't even call Sweeney Todd a horror comedy. It's a horror musical.
Yeah.
And then you're over here with Evil Dead 2 that is
Not
it's
a
a
musical.
satire on horror in a fucking comedy. It's a horror comedy. But like you got 2 completely different things. Like
That's like putting Little Shop of Horrors and fucking Evil Dead 2 in the same mix.
yeah, or like Little Shop of Horrors and like The Exorcist.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the same divided, but like it's the same.
I could see-
you're talking about 2 separate genres
I
altogether.
could see Little Shop of Horrors and Evil Dead 2 being brought up in the same conversation because they're both comedy horrors.
Yeah, right,
but
right.
But they're not the same at all.
Speaking of
They're not musicals.
Little Shop of Horrors, when the fuck are we gonna pull that one?
Oh God.
I don't know.
I absolutely
Man,
love that
she
movie.
said, I
That's
don't
one of my
know.
favorite musicals
Oh,
of all
me
time.
too, I agree.
love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I wanted to give you guys this one good one because it sounded like something Dad would do. Just because of the groovy part. It says Evil Dead 2 is the best of the entire franchise. It's a perfect mixture of funny and scary. All of the characters, well maybe except for Annie's boyfriend, are lovable and memorable. Linda 2.0 is the best Linda in my opinion.
Why is she
kind of like
2.0?
Audrey too. That's where they get the connection.
Yeah.
Audrey
The
too.
iconic
Yeah,
line
okay.
from Ash, groovy, and the ambiguous ending that gets ruined in Army of Darkness. What more do I have to say?
Ruined.
Ruined. I don't know about
What
that.
more do
like-
I have to say? This is an amazing movie. If you've never seen any of the Evil Dead movies, well, first of all, what are you doing with your life? Second of all,
I agree
watch
with
this
that.
one first. The first 7 minutes are a recap of the first one, so way not. Okay. Give it a watch, even if you've already seen it. Okay. Yeah.
That guy was just on here recommending the movie. That's cool. I like that guy.
Yeah. I gave it a 4.5.
Just watch the movie. That's all I gotta say.
You can sit with us at our table at lunch.
Yeah. All right, you're cool. You're cool. You gotta sit by Tim though. I don't like that guy.
You gotta sit by Tim till we do the initiation. Guess what the initiation
You're on
is.
probation.
Guess what
Yeah.
the initiation
Double secret
is.
probation.
Guess what the initiation is?
Do we throw cheese at him?
You gotta go into the shed, cut off your hand, put a chainsaw on, and then you gotta shoot a deadite. And survive.
As he looks around at all of us and sees that we all have both of our hands.
Like, hold on a minute.
Wait a tick. I don't think any of you did.
They grow back.
No, I just want to see the movie play out in real life. Now go.
All right.
That reminds me of that Ridiculous Six movie. You ever seen that?
I don't
Adam
know.
Sandler?
I've seen it once.
It's the One Eye Gang.
I don't remember a lot about
they are all wearing eye patches, and they told the new guys like, well, you gotta take out your left eye, and like he literally does it, and they're like, oh my god, he really did it, and they're all like wearing eye patches over their little eyes.
The only thing I remember from that movie is whenever the guy who played Jacob, what's his name? Taylor Momsen or something? No, that's the girl from
shit.
Taylor.
Whatever.
The dude from
Taylor,
Twilight, yeah. Taylor something.
Not Taylor Swift. Get out of here.
No, they were dating.
Lautner.
Lautner. Yep, Taylor Lautner. So the only thing I remember was whenever they tried to hang him, and he was swinging on the rope because he plays like a mentally retarded person or whatever.
Hey, you serious fucking do that?
And he's like, I told you I had a really strong neck.
He's just swinging back and forth.
It's real, if you've never seen it, I'd give it at least one watch if you're in the mood for like
one.
a really dumb comedy.
Okay.
And it's got all of Adam Sandler's regulars in it too.
Nick Swartzen is the dude that takes his eye out.
Yeah, and it's got
Nick Swartzen in that second Buddy Games movie literally makes that movie. Like, he is fucking hilarious in that movie.
He fucking he was just recently booed off a stage.
Again? Yeah, I heard about that.
He got booed off a stage because I guess on the flight there, he drank a little bit too much along with a few edibles.
Yeah,
and I guess it really fucked his day up.
Yeah, and
he went out on the stage. He couldn't remember half of his shit, and people were booing him.
What is that movie called?
Ridiculous Six.
Six. It's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. It's worth a watch.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's a good comedy.
Yeah, it's fun. Anyway, let's move on here. Let's get into some fucking trivia with Karen. Trivia with Karen.
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
I can't whistle.
During the scene where the severed head of Linda bites Ash's hand, Bruce Campbell says the single line, "work shed." This line was later redubbed in post-production due to the quality of the audio, giving it a strange, slightly disproportionate sound in the audio.
You can hear the difference, though, whenever he says it. He's,
9 years.
He says work shed.
Yeah, 9 years later, while filming his cameo in Escape from L.A., the first thing Kurt Russell said to Bruce Campbell on the set was, jokingly, "Say work shed." Stephen King was such a huge fan of The Evil Dead that he convinced producer Dino De Laurentiis over dinner, who was producing King's Maximum Overdrive at the time, to have his production company, DEG, finance Evil Dead 2. Of course, Raimi credits King with making this film possible, having not been able to acquire enough money himself. Raimi later made appearances in King's miniseries The Stand and The Shining. Rosebud, the supposed film production company, was not a real institution. Producer Dino De Laurentiis was forbidden to an unrated movie through his own company, so Rosebud was created specially for the purposes of releasing Evil Dead 2. This is Bruce Campbell's favorite film of the trilogy.
I told you, man. Me and him have like this unspoken bond.
Yeah, I thought you said he was your dad or something, wasn't he?
He might as well be I wish he was my dad, honestly. If he was my dad, you guys would have been at my house a lot when we were kids.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's an ass. He would have been an asshole, but he's like a lovable asshole.
I think we would have got along.
Probably, yeah.
The large demonic head and Ash battles in the climax of the film, which the crew nicknamed the Rotten Apple Head, was too large and cumbersome for the crew to carry back to California, so it was left in North Carolina and soon disappeared. Its whereabouts were unknown for a number of years until it was found in a Halloween haunted house attraction just outside the original shooting location of Wadesboro, North Carolina. Could you imagine just like walking through a haunted house or a haunted house and being like, "Hey, you guys see that?"
I just saw that in that one movie last night.
Right? Bruce Campbell completely improvised the scene where he fights his possessed hand in the kitchen of the cabin. Sam Raimi praised his performance and used the first take for the film. The sexy, surly Bobby Joe was inspired by Holly Hunter, who was a housemate of Sam Raimi's in the early 80s, along with Joel Cohen and Frances McDormand. One particular incident inspired the character. Hunter was auditioning for a hooker part and was unusually made up and wearing a sexy, short-skirted outfit. She became angry at Raimi when he somewhat leered at her. Raimi pulled for Hunter to play the part, but the producers wanted someone somewhat sexier. During the making of The Evil Dead, producer Irvin Shapiro had already suggested a sequel to Sam Raimi, who then thought up a story, together with screenwriter Sheldon Lettich, where Ash is tossed through a time portal to battle Deadites in the Middle Ages. When Raimi announced the movie's production, they even made a mock-up poster with Ash holding a chainsaw in the medieval times. According to the poster, it was at that point originally titled Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead and the Army of Darkness. However, they couldn't raise the budget for this idea, so the project was buried and Raimi made Crime Wave. When that movie wasn't successful, Raimi got back to Evil Dead 2. Producer De Laurentiis eventually agreed to finance the film, but insisted that it was too similar to the first story, which was similar in story to the first film, which had been very popular in Italy. Some unofficial remakes and sequels had even been made there. Raimi was also forced to keep the action
to the Evil Dead movies.
Mm-hmm.
They had already made
unofficial sequels and remakes in Italy.
I want to see the sequels.
Right?
I'm like, what
I know. I read that too. I'm like, man, I kind of really
to the Evil Dead 2.
No, Evil Dead.
Just Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That'd be interesting. I wonder what those were like.
That's why he didn't want to make the original thing that they had planned, because they had already had all of these other ones going on in Italy. And when you make movies like this, you want it to go worldwide eventually.
Right.
Raimi was also forced to keep the action situated in a cabin to keep the budget manageable. His original outline ultimately became the plot for Army of Darkness, the third Evil Dead film. Since cast and crew had become hardened and inexperienced from the making of The Evil Dead, the production of this sequel wasn't nearly as chaotic as that of the original. Production issues and budget problems, there was fraught with setbacks, including terrible living conditions. There was still plenty of weird phenomena. While The Evil Dead had endured an unexpectedly cold winter, Evil Dead 2 was shot during a brutal heat wave. Also, the rat scene on the stairs over Bruce Campbell's shoulder while he's locked in the cellar was entirely unafraid of him and was nicknamed Senor Cojones by the crew. I thought that was funny because that rat was not part of the crew or anything. It was just down there. The zombified Henrietta was actually played by Sam Raimi's little brother Ted. He was forced to wear an extremely heavy full-body latex suit. With the addition of eye lenses and fake teeth, the only body part of Ted's the audience can see is his tongue when his mouth is open. The shooting location of North Carolina was going through a heat wave at the time, and a combination of this and the cumbersome suit made the production extremely difficult for Ted. He would quickly become overheated and profusely sweat in the suit. The special effects team would have to pour the liters of sweat out of the suit into styrofoam cups at the end of the shoot every day. In the
Why are they pouring them into styrofoam cups? Just dump it out.
In the climax of the film, the sweat can be seen pouring out of Henrietta's ear when she's flying through the air, attacking Annie. Viewers can see it at the bottom of the screen when she turns to ash and screams. There's a rumor that the effects team somehow used the collected sweat in a horrendous prank on Ted on the last day.
That's fucking
nasty.
Fuck you guys, I quit.
I'm going to go. I think that that's probably more than a rumor, knowing Sam Raimi and crew.
Yeah.
The sounds of the evil traveling.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
All that sweating for you guys, and you just threw it right back at me.
That's right. What they did, waited until he got in the suit and then dumped it in the suit with him. Here's all your fucking sweat back.
Oh, you imagine how it smelled?
Oh.
You guys are gonna make people puke. The people that can't stand to hear other people gag.
ASMR for that. Like,
It's like that movie Mordecai. Every time somebody did that, he's sympathetic gag reflex.
Sorry.
Oh, this is what we talked about where explaining how it's actually a sequel. But it is kind of neat because Sam Raimi never actually intended to make any sequels. So when we see Ash get hit at the end of the first one, it's actually supposed to be implied that he died in that final shot.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah, so they couldn't get the rights. Yeah, so we talked about that already. The scene where Ash is doused in blood coming from the wall was filmed by placing Bruce Campbell horizontally on the floor and then pouring gallons of fake blood on him from above. The scene was filmed with the camera turned 90 degrees to create the illusion that he was standing upright. So much blood was dumped on Campbell that not only did he feel like he was nearly drowning, he would also produce red snot for the next 2 weeks every time he blew his nose. To make matters worse, he insisted that authentic Karo syrup formula was used to simulate the blood that made him a target for every fly in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, imagine the heat.
And they usually leave that stuff on the clothes so that they can have
keep using
continuity.
It. Yeah.
What was it?
It's probably like a breeding
Karo
ground
syrup.
for flies.
That's usually what they use for blood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not anymore because I think they've got better stuff. But back in the day, they used Karo syrup and food coloring.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I used what was it, corn syrup?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Corn syrup and food coloring back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what Karo syrup is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Corn syrup. And I assume everybody knows about the glove.
Yeah.
So, yep, that's it.
Do you know about the glove?
Maybe
Comment
we should
down
tell them.
below.
Oh.
No. Leave it open-ended. You guys comment down
Do
below.
you guys know what glove we're talking about? If you do, tell us.
In the comments below.
The love glove. No.
The love glove. That's a pretty rough love glove. I'm just saying.
Hint. It's not that.
Well, it could be for some people.
Oh.
Whoa.
That's
All right.
what you're into.
Anyway,
What kind of dreams are you having?
moving
Also a
on.
hint.
No thanks.
That right there, my friends, is Evil Dead 2.
2, we better get Army of Darkness, is it called?
Army of Darkness.
Next.
Or Little Shop of Horrors.
What's in the fucking box?
Or the Ninja Turtles.
Or, I mean, whatever we get.
If we get Saw, throw it away.
Saw.
Oh, God. If
I
it's Saw
tried
or
to- I tried to
Texas
work with that.
Chainsaw, I'm done.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes! Sorry. I really like that movie.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse.
That was
All right,
on my
Spider-Man.
trying.
This is our first
Spider-Man movie.
Spider-Man movie. This is also like, we've only done like one other animated movie, and that was Spirited Away.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
thought we did another animated.
Yeah, I thought we did too.
Have we done more than one animated movie?
I think.
maybe not.
I feel like
I don't think
maybe.
we
I don't know.
have. I'm not sure, but I don't think we have. I think that's the only one we've done.
Actually, yeah.
I'm almost sure.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't think of another one. All I know is we did Spirited Away.
It's on Fubo and FX Now.
Really?
Streaming.
I think it'd be on Disney or something.
No, I don't think it's a Disney
You'd think
movie.
so, but no.
Well, Disney bought out Fox, and they got... I don't know. All right, well, next week we're doing Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse with the best Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Yeah.
He is the best Spider-Man.
Woo!
And honestly, I gotta say, I like the first one more than I like the second one.
Well, yeah, the second one leaves you off with a cliffhanger. It spends all that time building up. and
Yeah,
then
but
it
like
leaves
just
you
the
off.
first one was just better in a lot of ways, though.
I feel like the second one will be better once there's a third one.
Maybe the first one was better because of just
The
like it
whole
was a
thing.
clean storyline. It was fun to watch. It was. I don't think they expected to make a sequel.
We watched, whenever that movie came out, we watched it a lot.
Yeah, we did.
We watched it, like...
Well, Jackson was obsessed with it, and so I was like, I'll watch it as
I'd
many
sit
times
down
as you
and
want
watch
to,
it,
buddy.
right.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I don't think I've watched it yet.
No, it's
Seriously?
probably that might be my
Really
favorite
good.
Spider-Man movie is Into the Spider-Verse.
It's a really good
I know, I haven't
It's,
watched it.
it's really
Oh!
good. You've
What
never
is wrong
seen
with
it?
you guys?
You're gonna love it. It's
You
good.
know,
You're gonna
I'm
make me have a heart
totally
attack.
over the hero superheroes.
It is. I know. I get that, but this is like
No, I'm
This
just
is
saying, like,
different.
I'm not
With-
opposed to
with the
watching
hip
it.
hop and the art style and everything. It's just a fun movie.
No, I'm saying I'm not opposed to watching it. I'm saying
Right.
I don't seek them out.
it's definitely like
Oh.
it's definitely
make
like
Jack
it's definitely
watch it
like
with you,
pleasure
you'll
for the
love it.
eyes.
I promise.
It's pleasure for the eyes. The movie is because it's so colorful and cool and just the art and everything.
I liked how the actor that played Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man.
Karen, tell him I told you that he has to
Andrew
watch
Garfield?
Yeah. I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, it was good. I think all the Spider-Man have been good. I don't have any of them I don't like, so.
So he has to love it.
Okay.
I'm not like with Batman where everybody's like, oh, this is the best Batman. Like, all the Spider-Man that have played Spider-Man are all good. So, I've liked all of them.
Michael Keaton.
It's probably the same argument, it's the iteration.
Right. But, like, there have been bad Bruce Waynes and Batman. So, like
George Clooney.
What? Anyway, next week, Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse. Don't forget to get to our socials and like us, share us, subscribe us.
Dude, there's a spider web hanging down right there. Mm-hmm. There's no spider on it, but I
Madison
can see
may
it.
have a heart attack.
There.
Anyway, don't forget to find us on Discord and talk to us there. We're always open to conversation. Aside from that, I hope you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful week.
And weekend.
Yeah. Just like I always say, man, don't forget to wipe your ass.
And your mouth, apparently.
This is a new thing, I guess.
Yeah, it's not new. People have been doing it for many, many years.
No, you saying it every week is a new thing.
They gotta start using the 3 seashells.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.